purifiers put in this courtroom. I'm putting a third one in the jury room.
Good morning.
We've also provided jurors, should they wish, with masks. We've increased the hand sanitizers and the disinfecting wipes. We've always had the hand sanitizers around. There's one on the jury box at the moment, and they've been in the jury room. I'd also like to put on the record that I did advise the jurors on Monday that one of the jurors was not going to be with us any longer due to a health concern. I asked them at that point if anyone had any concern. I did indicate at that point it was a possible exposure, and they all indicated no, they didn't have any concerns. But again, out of an abundance of caution, I feel it's important to now question them while they're in the jury box to ensure that there aren't any issues related to that. So with that, I am going to instruct the jurors to be brought out for that purpose. And then they'll be excused after that so we can continue the discussion regarding that and then deal with, if need be, the other issues and filings that have been brought to my attention today.
Your Honor, will we be addressing subject matter jurisdiction?
No, not at this time.
Still has yet to be proven for the record.
I don't know if the audio is on, but
Thank you.
Could you have a microphone available?
Good morning, Night and Nate. Thank you.
They're behind you. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, wait, if you could bring me that. Michael, can I hand you this? You're not going to take testimony at the moment. It is preliminary. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I brought you out here. We are not taking testimony at the moment. I have made a record previously regarding COVID-related concerns with the jurors. I know you are all aware that one juror was excused due to a health concern. I also put on the record that on Monday, when I advised the jurors of that, I asked you all if anyone had a concern regarding that, and that no one indicated they had a concern. I have been made aware of a second issue and potential exposure. And so I wanted to make a record in open court and to ask each one of you if any of you have any concerns about continuing your service in this case due to exposure to COVID. And so I'm just going to go through each one. Hopefully I can see all of your numbers from here. I'll just start from the back row and move from my left to right, front row, my left to right. And I also want to let you all know,
what's up, brother?
We have a very, very good HVAC system. I made a record of this while you were not here. But this is a new building. It has brand new technology. I've been told that the HVAC system in the courts tower, and this was told to me by our facilities manager.
I'm getting coffee. You're
has a
muted.
UV light system that disinfects the air to higher air exchange.
How are you? If this gets mistrialed because of COVID-19, I'm going
air
to
purifiers also put in
Wow.
this courtroom, and I've had one put in. The
All right,
jury
let me get my coffee.
room.
We got to
I
discuss
believe
this.
You would be able to confirm for us as well that when you
We're
got
now 2 jurors
into the jury
down. I don't
room
know
this
how many
morning, there were
alternates they
extra
had.
sanitation supplies along with masks. And so with that, I am just going to identify you by number. First of all, juror number 11. Do you have any concerns about continuing your service in this case, specifically related to COVID?
No concerns.
All right, thank you. Let me actually go back to, has it, would the fact that you may have been exposed in any way interfere with your ability to pay attention and ultimately render a verdict in this case? All right, thank you. And then let's see, I know our bar's really, juror number 48, if you could also answer those two questions.
No concerns.
All right, thank you. And then juror number 46.
No concerns.
Thank you. Juror number 34.
No to vote.
Thank you. Juror number 27.
No, also to vote.
Thank you. Juror number 30. Thank you. Juror number 1.
You
Thank
you seriously think we're looking at a mistrial here?
6. Juror
We're
number
down
6.
2 jurors. I don't know how many alternates they
Thank you.
had.
And then juror number 14. I'll just start there.
No concerns.
One already
Thank
left
you.
yesterday, and
Number
one's
10.
leaving today.
No concerns.
Thank you.
So
Juror
I don't know
number
how many
51.
alternates they pulled, but
Thank you. Juror number
That's-
45.
usually in
Thank you,
civil
juror
cases,
number
usually only
19.
have 2 alternates.
Thank you. Juror number
Yeah.
41.
I don't
Thank
know
you,
how
and
many
juror
they
number
pulled on
3.
this one, but yeah.
All right. Is there anything I haven't asked of the jurors
But if
or
you end
any
up
other
with
concerns related to that that you would want to bring to my
if you
attention?
end up
If
with
so,
less than the
just raise your
statutory
hand.
requirements, then you got a
There are no
problem.
hands raised. I can also tell you
This is
from
insanity.
our initial days of COVID, when we started up jury trials, we do have plexiglass panels that I could put in between anyone who would want one. Is there anyone here who would want that?
And so that's why I think she's
So
going
much
out of her
hand.
way as much as humanly
No
possible
Our
to make sure
are
the people that she has
raised.
left are comfortable.
That's
God
really all
bless the
I
good
have.
people
I
of
don't know if
Wisconsin
there's
for not
anything
being that
the parties
stupid.
Would want me to ask the jurors from the state on this topic. All right, Mr. Brooks. All right, thank you. I'm going to excuse the jurors then, and then when we're ready, we'll have you brought back out. And thank you so much.
So we might get a mistrial and get to do it all over again.
God, if that happens.
Maybe someone will tell them that substain's not a word in between.
Or relevancy.
Relevancy.
Oh God.
But-
But yeah, I have to look at them. I want to look up how many jurors they actually impaneled.
well, they still have enough.
Thank you. Be seated.
Yeah, but like I said, in my experience, it's usually
Go ahead.
2 alternates, and we're
We
2 now.
counted 15 jurors in the courtroom.
Okay, 15.
I excuse one.
You excused one earlier in the week too, though.
No. I'm only talking about the one. The other one I didn't excuse.
I see.
And,
Okay.
and thank you, I'll make a record of that. I did not excuse given when that person reported their symptoms and where we're at today. So it would be,
So that person is here
yes,
and willing to continue serving.
yes.
Okay. Thank you.
yes, Sure.
All right, so we still have 16. All right.
And I will make a further record that none of the jurors are wearing masks. And I'm not going to mandate. I believe it's a personal choice.
I'm going to plug
That
John's
would
stream
also
from
be
last night.
consistent With, I believe, our county.
It was
policy
fantastic.
as well. So, unless
Trial
there's
by combat,
anything
yo.
related to that, I
Check
have
it
a
out.
couple of other issues I need to address this morning.
Did you see the thumbnail?
Go ahead.
The
We're not kidding. That's what it was
person
about.
or the 2 people rather that are having the COVID concerns. I know you said you wasn't going to ask them had they test positive or there was also
Oh
testing.
God Almighty!
oh,
Any
Lord.
Do you know if
The English
there
teachers
has
in
been
the
exposure on
room
their end to COVID exactly, or
got to
is
be
that
having a
just
stroke.
a caution
that's
thing?
what we do is we talk for a living, so it's just
My understanding is that I've had 2 jurors test positive throughout the course of this trial.
And
I make a further record that they're the only ones within 6 feet of each other, right? And perhaps our
Oh,
civilian
thank you,
bailiffs.
Don.
And
oh, thank you.
they've not been in obviously contact with anyone in the gallery. I don't know if maybe Attorney Opper might be within 6 feet. I don't think so, but I haven't measured it. Obviously, you're not within 6 feet of any of them. But that's a good question to ask, and I'm glad you asked that. And I wanted to make a record of that as well.
Volume just went weird on me. I don't know why.
be my question to it. I guess in reference to me myself just having the same concern
We don't care.
a few weeks ago. So
We don't
that
care
You're
if
wearing
you
a
get
mask
COVID.
the entire time.
Know exactly any details that could be provided.
We've
I'm
all gotten
providing all
COVID.
the details that I will.
If you get it, unfortunately, you'll survive it.
You have not been exposed, from my opinion, because of the distance that you are away from them, and my understanding based upon my review of county policy.
Yeah, I'm not saying me myself have been
Understood.
exposed.
Okay, it's
Well,
October
that's
of
why I asked them, though,
2022.
too, right? I wanted to make sure they had no concerns, or
I
if
just
they
want to
had a
be clear.
concern, to see if I could accommodate it. And if-
Florida, it's been over
I'm
for
satisfied
almost 2
that
years now.
If they don't have a concern, that we can
Well,
continue forward.
You have an adult in
Have
charge.
they ever, the
Yeah,
entire
fair
of
enough.
the jury though, have they been exposed in any way?
I don't know the specifics because of the 6-foot rule, and no one has asked me to investigate that further.
Wouldn't it be smart though to see?
I don't believe that's necessary under the
You know what?
circumstances.
I didn't see it at first, but everyone's saying the judge looks like Wonder Woman.
Future reference,
Little bit.
Frankly, it's a nice thing to say.
but if it plays a part later on,
Well,
But
I'll
I'm-
certainly take your
I'm coming around
concerns
to it.
under
I'm coming around to it.
advisement, and if I believe any further questioning.
He looks
needs
a little
to be
bit like
done.
my Civ Pro professor.
At this point, I don't believe it needs to be done, but I'll think
That's-
about that, and I'll take it
that's
under
not nearly
advisement,
as
and if I change
exciting.
my mind, I'll let
I
you
know, but yeah.
I'm just saying, because
Wonder
if
Woman,
anything,
my Civ
it
Pro
would probably be
yeah.
smart
Hey,
for
you know what?
everyone to make
She
sure
became
no
a
one
full
else
tenured professor at I think 29.
compromise, considering that
Let me make
Yeah.
a record there. No one has indicated they are compromised. I don't think we can make assumptions about how anyone who's been exposed or tested is feeling. You can be asymptomatic and test positive. You can have mild symptoms. I trust my jurors that they would report if they're not able to sit through the proceedings. And I will further advise them through the bailiffs that they are to report if they ever get to a point where they feel they're not able to sit through here. And if so
Stop
that we're
indulging him,
advised,
though.
and I can-
I've had enough. I don't care what your thoughts are on it.
Monday, which at that time it wasn't. Could have been flu, could have been just not feeling well, could have been anything, and then today is. Then you kind of worry about tomorrow, Friday, over the weekend.
No.
Mr. Brooks, I share all of those concerns, but my other concern is that we are in the 3rd week of trial, and that we should keep going until the conclusion.
Until
of
you're
this
convicted.
matter, understanding.
Put away for the rest of your life.
What has happened.
By the way, you jinxed us on the temperature. It's 54
I
now.
just wanted to put that on the record because
Ooh,
Appreciate
that
that.
is
seemed like the
cold for Tampa.
circumstances was different
Oh, yeah.
when it was me. Just saying.
Are you making any specific requests given this information?
Well, I believe that the jury clearly all congregate
Mistrial.
together. I think it would be smart
Oh,
to
this
make
is
sure
rich.
everybody is tested. I mean, that's it would be smart to do that.
I'm not going to mandate testing for the jurors. That much I can tell you. So that request is denied.
And the grounds for the denial,
That it's dumb.
I'm not going to let the jurors be subjected to testing. They're the ones who indicated they are comfortable being here. They don't have concerns. And again, I would trust them to report to me if anything changes.
that too, but it still would refer back to Monday when the first knowledge of someone
Oh my
having
God.
an illness or a potential illness was those same questions that were asked today, asked Monday. And
I did
I'm
not.
quite sure.
I certainly
Just
questioned
asking
them.
questions.
It was a very brief. I put what I said to them on the record earlier. It was certainly not what we did here today, and the record reflects that.
Right. I'm quite sure though that all the jurors Monday said they didn't have any concerns as well. And then
Yes.
today, someone else, same thing being said. So
I understand what
If
you're
it
saying.
happens-
Nobody cares about your comfort level. It's theirs.
same thing being said.
But are you making
Nobody.
any specific requests as it relates to this topic and this issue?
Well, you denied the request that
Any other requests?
I just feel like it's smart for them to be tested. So it doesn't-
Thank
so
you.
it doesn't
Thanks for
come up
sharing your
again in the
feelings.
future, or
Now call the
potentially
jury in. Let's go.
come up again in the future, because then it's
Yeah, so he's a
we're
lawyer,
all
he's a
looking back and
doctor.
saying, well, we could have
Next thing you
prevented
know, he's gonna
something
be an
like this from
accountant.
happening if we had just nipped it in the bud from the get-go. It's just smart to, like you say, err on the side of caution.
When did you become Surgeon General?
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. I'm going to continue. I understand what you're saying, but given the responses of the jurors today, I'm going to continue. I'm going to base this off of their desire to continue, at least what I would interpret as their desire to continue with their service on this case. All right, then I want to talk briefly
Kudos to
about
the jury for
the
saying we're
jury
gonna keep
view.
going. Convict this
I
guy.
did provide the parties with a proposed instruction. Before I get to that though, Mr. Brooks, I have been thinking about your request yesterday. And I know I indicated to you that I would require you to be there. I've rethought that. I've had the overnight to really think about it. And if that is your decision to not be present for that, what I would say is this: I want you to be advised that you have a right to be at that jury view. Did you hear me say that?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much told me yesterday about, everything that was going on. I didn't
Just acknowledge it.
agree to
Just yes,
or
Judge.
consent
Thank you.
to being, well, I was still confused about why did there even need to be.
You're
a jury.
confused about everything. You're a dumb
That
man.
was my whole
I get
thing.
it.
I didn't.
She's telling you you
I don't
don't.
see the
You're not right.
relevancy of it, and I also didn't agree with or consent to having to be part of something that I don't see as relevant.
I appreciate you.
It's
making a
it's
record
early,
of
but it's
that.
warranted.
But
It's
did you
warranted.
hear what I said, that you have a right to be present for it? I've ruled that let me back up. There's been a request from the state to have the jury look at the vehicle that was recovered by the police and, of course, is alleged to be the vehicle that was driven through the parade. Did you hear me advise you of that?
Yes, I
Which
heard.
is also
So
the vehicle
that motion was
That you were
addressed
driving?
previously.
that you were driving
and
through
I
the parade.
granted the request for that.
The
jury
allegations
view.
are strong.
Did you hear me say that?
I'm
We have
informed.
video.
All
I
right, thank
literally
you.
want them to take
So
the
with
key out of
that,
the
you
evidence
have
bag,
a right
put it in the
to
ignition,
be
and turn on
present
the car
at
in
that
front of the
jury
jury.
view. Did you
Mhm.
hear me say that?
I'm informed.
And I would like you to be there. I believe it
Why-
is a piece of evidence. That's why I've drafted jury instruction
Why do
152
you have
the
an-
way that I did.
This
Did
is
you
a little
hear me
odd
say
to me.
that?
I'm informed.
Just you can or you
So my
can't. Why is
question
there
to you then
any emotion attached
this
to it
morning
whatsoever?
is,
If you want to be there,
do
great.
you want
If
to
you
be
don't,
present at
okay.
the jury view of the vehicle?
I don't see the reason why I would need to be present.
Okay.
Okay.
My question to you though is, do you want to be present for it? You are the accused in this case. You're the person who the state has alleged committed these acts. It's the jury view will be to view a piece of evidence that frankly can't come into the courtroom due to its size. And the jury's going to be shown that. So do you want to be present at that?
For the record, I'm not a person. I'm a human being.
Oh dear God.
And no, I do not consent to or agree to being present at a jury.
Good.
Yeah.
Then
there
I'm
you go.
going
All
to
right,
honor
that's-
his request, but what I am going to do though is as part of that process in any event, because it's being done in a secure location, is I have ordered that I want to make a record of what's being done, and I want a visual record of what is being done. And so this jury view is going to take place in the Sally Port of the jail. And precautions are being taken so that the jurors do not know where it's at. They'll just
You
it'll
just
look
announced
like a
it, Judge.
garage, right? Anything that says jail within the Sally Port.
That's
is
a
being
pretty well
covered
defined
up.
location.
That
I
will
mean,
be
I don't know the
verified
jail, but
before
how many Sally
anyone is
ports we
taken
talking
in
here?
there. They will be transported to
I
there.
mean, the jury's not in the room. but-
I'm not sure if they'll walk or drive because it's very close. But then the sheriff's department, because
Thank you.
it's, as the court official, I'm in charge of
What are they
keeping the
gonna do?
record,
Put,
not
like,
keeping I'm in charge of making the record.
blindfolds on
because I
them
don't
while
make
they drive them over there?
And I want to make sure that there's a record of what is done for this trial and certainly for any appellate purposes if need be.
Oh, Judge.
The Sheriff's Department.
I'll give you a link to the Law Talk
The
with Mike
Sheriff's
playlist.
Department
You got everything
is
you need right
obviously
there.
charged with the security and safety of a courtroom, including the jurors. And so I have asked the Sheriff's Department to record. And so there is a camera with that will
Gonna
be
put
on a
those black
tripod
FCA
that will
hoods over
record
them,
what's there
drive them
before
to the car.
anyone gets there. I've instructed them to take that camera to walk around the vehicle and while it's recording to put it back on the tripod. And before the jurors and the court are brought in, once we are brought in, it will also be recorded, and that contemporaneous recording.
Thank you, Ardo.
So that will be as
I just like the
I will
reasoned
walk- we will walk
request
around
that
the
he
vehicle,
makes.
One time
I'm
that
like,
will be recorded.
I can't
and then
argue with
both
that.
of those
I guess I'll slow it
recordings are
down.
going to be made part of the record. Because the second recording is for the record and has the jurors, at this point, I'm going to seal it so that at least until the conclusion of the case, given the order that I have regarding the what's referenced as an anonymous or numbered jury. So that will be sealed. But what will be released to the public or be made part of the public record, and so therefore any media request would be that recording that just shows the vehicle without the jurors in it and without the court. So, and then I plan on also bringing that back to the courtroom while the Sheriff's Department's going to bring it back, and then we'll show it to you at that time.
I have a question though.
Go ahead.
If I have a right to be present, then I have a right to not be present. How can this take place if I don't agree or consent to being present? How can it even still take place without?
What?
What
It will
is
take
wrong
place,
with your
sir.
brain?
I'm just going to honor your request not to be there.
I'm asking a question though. How can it take place
feel like
without
his
my consent?
inner
Or-
monologue is
Your consent's not required, and it will
If you
take
don't
place.
It's going to take place. That's how I'm going to answer that, sir.
There.
There
So
you go.
you not going there is not going to prevent it from happening.
You get to choose to be there or not.
But you can
Right.
forfeit your right or to
I
be
didn't-
there
I
by your
didn't-
conduct. And
I
by your
didn't-
conduct, by not answering my question,
You have a
by
right
saying
to be
I don't
there.
want to be
You
there and I
need
don't
permission to
consent
do
to it, you will be forfeiting your right to be present and essentially waiving that.
Doesn't I have to sign something for it to be waived?
I don't think so
UCC.
in this case.
Yesterday you said.
Oh, he's
something
starting
about,
early.
I know I said that, and I've had some time to think about that further.
I can't start
and,
drinking at 9 o'clock in the morning. I
I don't
can't do
believe
it.
I need to take a full waiver with you signing
A
anything
little early,
or even agreeing to the waiver.
but
So
why
definitely
did I have
pushing
to
you in
do
that
that?
direction.
For when my
Oh, I'm not going to answer those questions because that
Well,
would be for me to give you an explanation of the law.
no.
I'm
it
just
would
going to
be-
tell you that I'm not going to require a written waiver from you in order to honor your request to not be at the, or even if I phrase it, your lack of consent to the jury view.
And is that lawful law? Because
Is that lawful
Sir,
law?
It's
I'm-
lawful
I'm
law.
not gonna
Yeah,
go
it's
through
it's
all
lawful
the
law.
that applies
Jag
to
off.
that.
The
This
way
is
I-
my ruling.
Yeah.
If you disagree
I'm
with
gonna
it and
rule that it's
ultimately
lawful law.
there is a conviction, you can raise that on appeal.
God,
But
let's
No.
tase him.
your lack
Your
of
Honor.
consent is not going to stop the jury view. It's
It-
going to happen. It's a piece of evidence that I cannot physically fit in this courtroom. It's too big. There's no way to get it in.
okay, I'm informed of that, but at the same time, if I haven't signed any waiver, how can
That's
it be
irrelevant.
lawful?
That's
I haven't
totally
given
irrelevant.
Consent or
You're
agreement.
waiving by your choice.
To a jury.
Show up.
Yeah.
I
It's
haven't
it's on the
waived any
record.
right.
More importantly, it's on Law Talk with Mike.
When the whole
You
issue
waived
was
it.
brought
It's
up,
happening. Move
on the
along.
record yesterday, my first thing that I said was, I don't see the relevancy of
I
why
don't care
there
what you
should even
see.
be a jury view. And that was the whole issue. And yesterday I was told about the,
It
I
does.
don't know how you say it,
It does.
colloquy or however you say it. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Colloquy.
I know what I
Soliloquy is a
said.
different thing,
Yeah.
but that's
Telling you I had
okay.
time to reflect.
It's way
That was
past
my
you.
initial reaction to your statement yesterday,
At least
but I
it's a
thought about
three-syllable
it
word.
some more and I'm changing my mind. I
Force
don't
the
believe
board
I need to
to-
take
No,
a
no,
full
Judge.
waiver with a colloquy with you and anything in
I
writing.
want her
I'm
to explain the
advising you,
difference.
you have
Maybe
the
use
absolute
some
right to
Shakespeare
be
as an
there.
example.
But I'm also advising you that if you choose not to be there,
Get a little
honor
Hamlet.
Nothing
that
but time.
request.
Nothing but time.
And I'm
Your
not going
Honor,
to
the
force
way-
you. I'm not going to direct the sheriff's department to, use any type of force, if you will, or require you or get you there without your consent. You either cooperate with that process or you don't.
The way I interpret the law, though, Your Honor, which
We don't care how
Nobody
you
cares.
interpret the law.
designed for
The way you
to
interpret the
be
law is
interpreted by the
wrong.
people. The
Right.
way I interpret that is I have the right or essentially to be there or not to be there, and it still has to be an
Yes.
agreement or consent. That's
No.
how I interpret the
See,
law.
the first
My
half you
ruling
had
on that,
right.
sir, is I
The second
disagree
half
with
you made
you.
up.
You do not need to provide consent for the jury review to happen. Your objection is noted for the record. I'll make a specific finding
Yeah,
today. that
unfortunately
is
it does, but
relevant,
she's
to
sweet.
these proceedings, to this trial.
She's a
There
good
is an
judge.
allegation that you drove through the
She's got a strong feminine
Waukesha
streak,
Christmas
which is
parade on
fine.
November
It's
21 of
inappropriate.
2021, driving
And this is
a
what you
red
get.
Ford Escape, killing 6 and injuring dozens more. The relevance is that there is, in addition to the charges, there's an enhancer that has been charged as it relates to the intentional homicide charges and the first degree recklessly endangering safety, that you committed those acts while using a dangerous weapon. I would direct your attention to the meaning of a dangerous weapon, that
They're
the
showing
legal
the
definition
jury
that was
the murder
provided to the jurors in the preliminary jury instructions, and that the jury view is related to the evidence that the state is
Thank you, Jackal,
presenting,
for clarifying
regarding the
everything
charges, and
from this
specifically,
morning in one
the instrumentality that they allege is the dangerous weapon. So
short
there's
phrase.
clear relevance of this vehicle and has evidentiary value. Again, your objection is noted for the record, but I will and
Janina,
am
I've been
permitting the
watching.
jury view of the
I
vehicle.
went
Your
back.
objection has
With
been noted
that,
and
I'm
laughed
gonna
at.
give I'm
Let's
gonna move
carry
on
on.
to the jury instruction.
I don't agree or consent to that, Your Honor.
I
That's
understand your
cute.
objection is well noted for the record. I need to keep going though on the pattern and
I'm
jury.
informed that you need to
pattern.
keep going. I'm not trying to
But
stop
you're
you from
gone.
continuing to go. I'm merely stating for the record
I want trial by combat.
that there are things
I'm back to
I do
last
not
night.
understand
I'm ready.
How they'll be
I'm ready for
How
I'm
it.
ready.
they're
I will
being
represent
permitted.
the state of Wisconsin. I'm not even in the damn state. I will
Versus
walk my
the
ass up there
Constitution.
and do it.
I mean,
I volunteer.
I'm sure
Want to talk
you're,
with
you're
Mike?
aware under Article 6,
Champion Mike the lawyer.
Chapter 2 about the supremacy clause that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. So how can we disregard?
Mr. Brooks, I'm not disregarding the Constitution. Here's the thing, I've made my ruling, okay? Once I've made a ruling, I do
You
expect
stop
that even if
arguing
you
with the
disagree
judge
with
or you're
it,
held in
you're gonna,
contempt.
you will not continue to argue it,
It's not
that
arguing.
we will continue on
I'm
with the
seeking
next
to
topic.
understand, Your Honor. It's not
They need the
arguing.
shot
Brooks,
cuffs.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
explain further other than what I have
Now
done.
those are real.
My ruling.
Those
My
are real.
ruling stands. Now I'm gonna move on to the jury
think for him,
instruction.
like,
I
you know,
gave
maybe
the
one of those-
parties
May I
two
respectfully
documents.
reject that ruling and take exception to that ruling?
They need the
Your
shot
objection
cuffs,
is noted.
cuffs, and they need to
For the
give
record, may
me
I
the
request a
button.
legal and factual basis for your
Mr.
ruling,
Brooks,
Your
In
Honor?
this
don't
trial, it'd go a
interrupt
whole
me,
hell of a lot better.
okay? I give you an opportunity to raise your objections and to make your legal
I'm
arguments,
raising
and then I make a
objection now.
At that point,
ruling,
we could just
and
put
then
this
you
on
start in
pay-per-view.
on something else. You need to give me your argument all at once. For you to interrupt me afterward is disruptive to me.
It's not
And
disruptive.
it's interrupting and it's disruptive.
It is definitely not
Well,
disruptive.
if that's my view of things, sir, and what I'm putting on the record is that it does disrupt what I'm doing and the flow of what I'm doing, and needing to move on, having to interrupt what I'm doing so that I can address that once again. Please, please. I know you may not always agree with my rulings, but I'd ask that you show
Oh.
the
Good Lord,
courtesy
she's so
and
sweet.
decorum that is
Oh.
expected of everyone. And once I make a ruling, we're going to move on. You don't need to keep objecting because your objections
Okay,
already
Mom.
been noted for the record.
Oh, for the love of
We're going
God.
to continue. We're going to look at jury instruction
He's gonna say something,
152.
I
I
still-
gave the parties 2 documents yesterday. One was the pattern instruction,
Can
which
we remove him?
I've modified, and then one is the draft of, and Mr. Brooks, please stop. You're continuing to talk over me.
Because you
You're
didn't,
interrupting.
you said I have the right to object, and you didn't let me even get to the objection.
I did, sir.
Oh
You
my
didn't. I was
God.
still, I was
My
right in
your
the middle of
objection
it.
comes
take it.
before
I
the
can't
ruling,
take it.
not after. Once I make a ruling,
It's
we're
too
moving
early
You
on.
for
made a
this.
ruling before we even finished the conversation, Your Honor. With all due
Yeah.
respect,
Brooks,
before
please
before we
stop.
even finished,
No, that's
Yeah,
not
she
true.
sure did.
Okay?
you
It's
said
not
I'm gonna
true.
make a ruling.
Yeah. And then she did.
As soon as you even started in about
Uh-huh.
Mr. Brooks, I'm not
having
going
the
to
time to
spend
think.
hours on end making a ruling about a jury view on something I've already decided. All right. So please, I'm asking
Well-
you
Going on for
to
like
stop.
20 minutes.
Stop
No, this-
interrupting me.
You
And
can't
please
just
listen.
disregard the United States Constitution. which
I
says-
absolutely am not
Oh.
disregarding the
You
United
are.
States
You're
Constitution
not
or the
honoring your oath
Constitution
of
of
office.
the state
Your
of
Honor, are you
Wisconsin.
not a
Oh,
public
multiple
servant?
homicide.
Okay, Mr. Brooks, you're starting to cross
committer.
the line.
But
You've
please do
already
tell us how it
crossed
works.
But I want to keep
Violating
going.
the-
I
I didn't
want you in
cross
this
any line.
courtroom.
When you
But if you
murdered
keep interrupting me and putting you on notice that you run the risk of being forfeiting your right to be present in this courtroom and continuing in the next courtroom so that I can
he's
effectively
raising jurisdiction.
and
He's
without
raising
interruption
jurisdiction before we
continue with the
proceed here
proceedings
today.
this
So again,
morning.
you're holding me in contempt.
All right.
Oh, dear.
Jury
Why does
instruction
he want to be
152, as
held
the
in
state had an
contempt?
opportunity to review it.
Is that
To
a
delay.
judicial determination that I'm being held in
I mean,
contempt?
it's not like he has an interlocutory appeal on that.
Agree
So what's the
generally
delay
with
on
the
that?
court's proposed instruction. I did submit kind of a counter proposed instruction following much of the language that you had in your version, Your Honor. I just think it's maybe better to refer to this area as a garage instead of a sally port. I don't know that anybody knows what a sally port is unless they work in this industry. And instead of referring it as being in the Waukesha County Jail, I just suggested a garage attached to the Waukesha County Courthouse. I think that is factually accurate and would dispel any concerns about anybody being in custody or reference to a jail setting. I did email my proposed instruction to your clerk and I e-filed it, but I admittedly just did that a few minutes ago. So that's why I emailed it to the clerk because it's probably not in your queue yet.
That's actually a
Why
smart
don't we
tweak.
put that
That's
off
actually lawyering.
so that Mr. Brooks can
Mm.
review that as well.
Removing prejudice from a potential instruction.
Being caught that
Oh,
way. What do I
God.
need
Here
to
we
be
go.
reviewing?
Here's a half hour on garage versus Sallyport now.
The state has submitted an alternate.
He's going to have to ask
proposal
some
for
questions about it.
Instruction 152.
He can't just, he doesn't understand. Oh, wait. I got to find
Instruction
it.
is actually better for
Quote,
him.
jury view.
Yes. Thank you.
I accept for value in return for value this document.
Oh, God. Everyone's been asking me about this.
Now, like the record to reflect, I still haven't received my original copies of my filings here this morning
You don't get to keep those.
with the
You don't
time
get to
standing.
keep the originals when you file documents.
Your world frightens and confuses me.
Everyone's asking me about that. It's some notion of consideration. We're not involved in contracts. It doesn't make
you've
sense.
had
Stop trying
opportunity to review it if
to
you
square
so
the
choose.
circle. It won't make sense. It's just
Stated
stupid.
for the record, I accept for value in return for value document.
Do you have
Oh,
any
dear
position
God.
on the state's proposal?
All right, yeah, it's a consideration.
I'm still trying to understand
Not
the whole
relevant.
process.
Your world frightens and confuses me.
On the state's proposed jury instruction. otherwise
It's
I'm
too
going to
perfect. I
rule
don't
on
know
the
why I've
request.
forgotten it.
You're gonna rule on the request anyway. I got a lot of questions that don't get answered.
I have to rule on the request, sir. It's been a proposal filed with the court.
You haven't ruled on subject matter jurisdiction yet.
Yes, I have.
No, you
In
haven't.
any event, you have a position to review,
You
sir.
ripped it up,
Yeah,
dude.
about subject matter jurisdiction.
One last time, Mr. Brooks, you have a
Here we go.
position on
Can
the
I
state's
go over the
proposed-
document, please? Can I do that, Your Honor? Respectfully,
sorry?
for the record, may I
Oh
do
my
that?
God, he's so orderly today.
We're getting nowhere. We're getting nowhere fast.
It seemed like the same thing that was there yesterday.
All right, I
It's
need
not.
a
There are
cup
some
of coffee.
changes.
I'll be right back.
What changes?
Reference
It's
to
the same.
Thank
It's the
you.
same document. That was
Reference
was
to
accepted for value and
the-
returned for value yesterday. The same document.
It's not the same. The changes were put on the record verbally by the state. It's taking out reference to Sallyport of the Waukesha County Jail, referring to it simply as a garage attached to the Waukesha County Courthouse. Those would be in the first two paragraphs. I believe the rest is the same.
So it was a couple words changed.
That's my understanding.
So it's the same document.
Let me know when you're finished reviewing it and
I don't have to review the same document that was reviewed yesterday, accepted for value and returned for value yesterday.
Right, then let me ask you this, sir. Do you have a position on the proposed instruction from the state?
It's essentially the same document. What was the significance of the change? What's the significance? Garage, Sallyport, what is the relevancy of what it's called?
State want to put on the record again the basis for the changes you made.
Your Honor, to my way of thinking, it is beneficial to the defendant. It removes any reference to Sallyport, which some may recognize as being part of the Waukesha County Jail. It removes reference to the jail itself. And then in the second sentence, the pattern instruction was worded and the court followed it. You will be taken to the Sallyport in the custody of the jury bailiffs. I just thought it was better to change that. You will be taken to the garage by the jury bailiffs. Again, removing the use of the word custody is it's factually true, but it's really irrelevant. Just to be cautious, Your Honor.
With that, sir, do you have any?
I don't fundamentally understand that. I think everyone's well aware that I'm in custody. So how does the wording change what's already known? Everybody knows that I'm housed in the Waukesha County Jail. How does the wording change what's already known? It's reported on every single day, as it has been since the beginning of trial and even before that. So I don't think anyone's not privy to the knowledge of where I'm housed and that I'm in custody. How does changing the wording change what's already known?
It doesn't. It's an abundance of caution.
Thank you.
Oh, we are.
From my perspective, of course, when I drafted this yesterday, factually, what I put in there would be accurate because that's where the jury view is going to take place. I think changing the verbiage so that it says a garage attached to the Waukesha County Courthouse
It's less prejudicial.
takes away any possibility that other law enforcement is condoning what is happening or somehow related to the case. It is true, the location was selected due to your custodial status and being able to secure the area for the court, for you, for the jurors, et cetera. But it's also a controlled environment, I think, a good thing for purposes of the jury view.
Yeah.
And so I am going to adopt the draft that was submitted by the state. It still is
If you prefer, we
factually
can view it in the middle of the parade route.
And from my perspective, again, the importance of this instruction is to tell them what is and what is not evidence, and to instruct them and to not talk during this time. They can't discuss what they see during this time. This instruction will be read while we are still in the courtroom prior to the parties in the court going
Thank
to
you.
the Sally Port for that viewing. And I've already discussed how it will be contemporaneously recorded so that it's part of the record as well.
So if I was there, where will I be at?
As you will be
I
escorted.
don't know. We can put you back in your cell.
Here now, the
If I was here, where will I be
would
at?
be with you. You'd be in your suit.
No, where?
I'm still smoking. I didn't turn off my
I don't
camera.
know exactly. That's up to the sheriff's department as to where all the parties are going to stand. Obviously, you would, we're not going to commingle you with the state or the state with jurors or you with the jurors or the court or anything like that. We're my understanding is we'll have sort of assigned
Mhm.
places and that it's only
I'm all for it.
myself who will walk around. And I may not even do that. I have to think about that. But the jurors are the ones who are going to walk around the vehicle one time.
So I don't get to walk
Does
around.
it still have the blood stains?
I can have you do that before the jurors come in. I certainly can have you do that if you would like. I can give the parties that opportunity.
May I add something else, Your Honor?
Actually,
I
I'm all
agree
for
with
it.
everything the court said. I also think Mr. Brooks should understand that it will be a fair process. He's not going to be led into the room in shackles in front of the jury. It's my understanding from Captain Dussault, the attorneys for the state, the prosecution team will be in the room. Mr. Brooks will be in the room. We will be in our assigned location. It will be fair. It will match. There will be basically no distinction between how Mr. Brooks appears to the jury versus how we appear to the jury. We will be in there first. If the court's willing to allow him to walk around the car one time to look at it, we have no objection.
Why
to
are we
that.
talking? He said he didn't
And
want to
then
go.
He said he
the
didn't want to go
jurors will
anyway.
come in. No one
He's
will
gonna
speak.
run. Yeah.
They will do one lap around the car. They will leave the room, and then
Starts walking around the car and just
that's
bolts.
my understanding, Your Honor.
And I will add to that, because it's been a while since I had some preliminary discussions with the sheriff's department on this, that if Alderman Bama, sheriff's deputies are with you, I want the same number with the state, right? And that's what we mean by it will look no different. So each party will be accompanied by deputies.
He said he wasn't going.
Well, apparently he changed his mind, I guess.
How come none of that knowledge of how it would be conducted was discussed with
Oh my
me?
God, are we directing a Broadway
I
show?
didn't know anything about how the bailiffs
It's
would
a jury
actually
field
do
trip.
things, how certain things would go. This is my first time.
Our world frightens and confuses.
We have preliminary discussions at the time of the request back in August, when you still were represented by counsel. And then I had some additional preliminary discussions, if you will, internally with court staff, which included Captain Dussault and someone from the jail to talk about it and the logistics of it. And then, of course, we're having the discussion now, which is, again, why there's no jury here now. I wanted to wait until the appropriate time and then make a record of everything.
But don't you
At no
think-
time did I have conversations independently with the state.
Don't
They
you-
had filed a letter at one point because they themselves had, again, my understanding, and Attorney Opera can correct me if I'm wrong, had some discussions with, to see if it was feasible. They had some discussions with Captain Dussault. And Captain Dussault is with the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department. Of course, the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department and the sheriff is statutorily responsible for the security of the campus, security of the courtroom.
Yeah.
And
we
so
heard
that would be the proper person for any party to have discussions about a piece of evidence such as this. But I did not have any discussions with the state myself. That only happened in the setting of a courtroom or when a letter was received and I reviewed it.
I haven't reviewed that letter or seen it. Don't you think?
Yeah.
that-
It was specifically addressed with the jury status hearing, at which time he was represented by Attorney Perry and Attorney Keys. It is on file and it was addressed by this court, many of these details, Your Honor.
All right.
Many of the same
So-
details that's being
This is
discussed
called
right
being
now
a
at this
man
moment.
All right, Mr. Brooks, do you have a request as it relates to any of that?
Well, yeah, I'm still trying to understand the whole
Yeah, you're trying to
how this
understand
is
a lot.
all working. And then it was a reference to how the shackles would look, or how being shackled or not being shackled. I'm guessing that I can't just walk around freely with bailiffs. I'm sure there would be some type of shackles.
I will tell them you are not to be shackled visibly for the jury to see.
And what do you mean by visibly,
And-
Your Honor?
Put a
So-
shop shackle on.
Obviously, when you sit in court, you're shackled to a table. They can't see that. I'm not going to have you in belly chains or in leg shackles. You're just going to be escorted. And it will be up to them how they determine.
Well, he may be in leg shackles, Your Honor, if there's a table or some way that they can keep that out of the view of the jury. Just like he is in court. He's shackled in court. He has been for 3 weeks.
Actually, these are
The security has to be left at the discretion of the sheriff's department.
leg shock devices, not shackles.
Oh, start using them,
Security is
people.
up to the sheriff's department.
It's time.
To overstep my bounds on that, and whatever is done, it should
Shop
not be
shackles and
viewable
snipers on the roof overlooking the garage.
to the jury.
And why is that, Your Honor? I don't understand that part. Why is the
The world frightens and confuses.
That's to your benefit.
shackle?
I'm not going to explain that any further.
I don't understand. I'm just seeking to understand. I don't know.
All right, I need to move on. So unless there's a specific request other than a statement that
Yeah.
you're making.
Now we know
about
he's
your
got
lack of
the shackles.
understanding, I need to move on with the other topics.
There is
I
a
need to-
Whoever's got
specific
that
request.
button
Why do I have to
needs
have
to start
ankle
pressing it.
shocks on my ankles
right now.
to appear at this jury view thing?
I guess I'm not aware of what you're talking about. So were you advised by the sheriff's department that that would be the case?
Well, the DA just said that I would have the ankle shocks on.
No, shackles, she said.
No, these are not shackles. They're shock. They're
Oh,
shock
dear
devices.
God.
I think perhaps we can move on. I think maybe because this is going to have to occur on a break, the bailiffs can take him down there if Captain Dussault is willing, show him what it's going to be like, show him how he's going to get there, and he can decide at that point if he wants to be there or not when the jury comes in the room. We're spending a lot of time talking about security and things that are frankly beyond your knowledge and my knowledge.
I object to that. I'm simply
That's
trying to
actually a really
understand why do I
intelligent
need
suggestion.
ankle shocks.
I'm going to leave the security. I'm not going to make any specific orders. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I will leave the security of the jury view to the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department. That is their responsibility. And I trust that they will do what needs to be done to maintain the security, no different than what they do here. And in their discretion will determine how best that takes place. And if I need to address anything after that or at that point in time, then it should be brought
that's
to my
true.
attention, but we are going to move on this morning.
So I should discuss that with the sheriff.
Yes. So I know, Mr. Brooks, you filed with the court 2 documents. I'm going to take them under
Yes.
advisement.
No,
I'm
it's
not
one
going
document.
to.
It's one. It was 2 papers, but it's one document.
Oh, all right. Thank you for that clarification. It's 1 filing, 2 papers, just front side, entitled Alleged Defendant Jurisdictional Challenge and Mandatory Judicial Notice by Affidavit. It references the case caption, the case number. I will simply take it under advisement and I'll review it later. And if I believe it needs to further be addressed, I will do that. But it's my understanding, sir, that you are requesting the original back. Is that true?
Yes.
So normally, just so you know, when documents are filed with the court, we maintain the original until it's scanned in and it's audited. And then because under the statute, once it's e-filed or into the electronic filing system and the electronic case, I believe we just destroy the documents at that point. So I don't have an issue giving you back the original, but it needs to run the normal course. My clerk needs to scan it in. I've advised you of this previously, but in the courtroom, we don't have the time stamp. We just have the date stamp. I will state for the record that you provided this. It was right away at the beginning of the morning. So at 8:30 a.m. is when it was filed with the court. So that will be on the record. And then at some point today, when we're on a break, my clerk can scan it in and then provide the original back to you. And then I'll have
sometimes it is, but at this stage of the game, no.
I want to say to that too, in reference to that, I actually said on record numerous times that I wanted the original copies of all my filings. I've actually said that 3 times on the record. This would be the 4th time.
Yeah, we still don't care.
Every filing that
I'm going to give it back to you, sir, but I'm not required to by law.
Well, I'm just saying on record that I've asked for that numerous times.
Yes, you
Okay.
Statement's noted for the record.
Right.
All right.
So would I be able to get all the
So
original
noted.
copies of all
Duly
my
noted,
filings?
right here.
I'm not going to address that any further, sir, because I am not the official keeper of the record. As to what was filed this morning, as a courtesy, we will provide you back with the original once it's scanned and it's in my electronic file.
We
I
all
was told
acknowledge that
that
you
make
asked
the
for it.
decision if I can get the original
Yeah,
And I
copy.
just made
1882
it-
You
plus
just said
John.
yes.
The original back.
Take yes
Can
for
I
an
have the
answer,
original?
you goddamn
Oh,
moron.
I'm not going to address that right now, sir. I don't have time, frankly, to look through everything that you filed to determine whether we've given you originals or not. In the future,
I
you may-
have the copies. I don't have the originals.
Oh, dear
All right,
Okay.
I'm going to move on.
I have
sir.
them here.
This is taking up valuable time with the jury. We need to keep going.
Which is
Is that a
exactly
judicial
what the plan
determination,
is.
Your Honor, that I can't get an answer to
I don't
something?
believe there's any other preliminary issues we need to address unless the parties have
Oh,
anything from the
he's
state.
headed for the other
Very
room.
briefly, Your Honor, to advise the court, I have 4 witnesses here that I believe are very brief records custodian type witnesses on some video evidence. I'm hoping my direct should take 5 to 10 minutes for each of
I just
them.
had to go scream into
And
the
then
ether.
I have 2 police officers who will be testifying. There will be some physical evidence involved when those officers testify. And Detective Casey went to retrieve it and he will bring it to the courtroom. When that moment comes, do you want me to have Detective Reglin take the exhibits to the witness stand, or what is the court's direction on that?
I would like you to provide it to the sheriff's department bailiff who's in the courtroom, my bailiff, who will then take it to the witness.
Okay, Deputy Bordeaux, and
Why?
Yes,
Why?
okay,
Because
I
she's
understand.
sick?
Thank
Is that
you.
what's going on?
Thank you for the roadmap for today, if you will. Anything preliminary other than the filing, sir, and other than the
It'll help her
topics we've
out.
discussed this morning.
Yeah, I'm still wondering when I will get the copies back for the
I mean,
ICFs that I filed.
usually
I can't
the
answer that.
attorney
I
would
don't know,
hand
sir.
exhibits
You'll
to
have to reach
the
out
witness,
clerk of court Mock.
but she's sick,
Well,
so I
what
think that's
happened
why
to
she's
him?
asking.
I
Okay.
don't know, because they're not.
Yeah,
on
because
the
she was
record.
coughing up a lot.
They
last
should be.
Get with her
night.
and make communication form and ask her for those, but I'm not going to address that any further on the record. All right,
They
let's
should
bring the
be.
jury up.
It's kind of funny that they disappeared.
Oh, dear God.
What's the difference now?
All rise for the jury.
This was an hour of abject nonsense.
So I have to readdress her the same thing
Stop talking, please.
in order to get copies that I've always been.
She's
getting
got to put
since
them in the other
beginning
room. She's got to put them in the
of-
other room.
Telling me to
He's got
file ICF.
Courtesy, if you want to make a list of whatever documents you believe you have.
Oh,
not been
my
provided
God.
copies,
We're still talking about getting the
I will
originals?
instruct my
Who
clerk to do
cares?
so. They're not going to be.
Request
dates or
denied.
timestamps Other than what's in the
Take it
file.
up with the
They'll be
appellate
from
court.
the
Bye-bye.
electronic file, but you need to provide her with the list, and then I will do that as a courtesy to you. But I'm not
Oh,
required. to
she's
do
way
that.
too nice for
But
this
as a
guy.
courtesy, I
Oh,
will
she's
do
way
that.
too nice.
And as far as any ICFs.
This literally is what happens when you have a too nice judge. I think she's doing a very good job, but I think she's losing control of him right now.
Then why were you getting them before?
They really
You
need
have to
Judge
ask
Mike
her.
for this one.
I have to ask her why you were getting them before.
My understanding is they were forwarded to me, sir, but we'll.
So what happened to this one being forwarded to you?
Oh,
So I
dear
can't
God.
answer that. I can't answer what I don't know. So
It
the
seems
jury's
like you're
coming
trying to
in. We're
avoid
gonna
it.
keep,
That's
we're
what
gonna
it seems
continue
like.
with the trial. So thank
Just like
you.
you avoided subject matter jurisdiction. You haven't proven that
She's
on the
going to
record.
kick him out. She has to before the jury comes in.
We need Judge Simpson and a lot more of this.
Okay, that'd be a no.
We just need that all day. Judge Manning, Judge Bryant.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. And thank you for your patience this morning as the court addressed some legal issues with the parties. All right.
Legal's a
State would please call
iffy
their
question.
next
though.
witness.
Thank you, Judge. The state calls Steve Schloman.
Good morning, Mr. Schloman. If you would please make your way to the witness stand, which is up one riser to my right. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand. My clerk, Teresa, who's on my left, will swear you in.
Ah, she's 52. She looks great.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat. Just give me 1 second. All right, go ahead. If you would please state your first and last names for the record and then spell each.
Stephen Schloman, Steven Schlomann.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Schloman.
Morning.
Sir, what is your job title?
I'm the IT director at Waukesha School District.
And are you aware as to whether or not the school district maintains security cameras at the buildings on the school district property?
Yes, we do.
Overruled. It's foundational. The witness may answer.
I'm sorry.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
He's establishing a
specifically,
business
is there,
records exception.
School district property located at the address of 222 Maple Street or Avenue in the city of Waukesha?
Yes.
Overruled is foundational.
It's not what they were talking about, but
The witness may answer. I believe you did, and your answer will stand.
Hey, you
If
look
there
good,
is
Mr.
an
Contempt.
objection, sir, wait until I rule on
Oh,
it
good
before you
Lord,
answer.
no.
Thank you.
No.
Go ahead.
What
no,
building is that location,
No.
sir?
That is our district office.
no, just no.
Is
It
there
would be
more
great
than one
content.
security camera on that building?
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Yes.
How many are there, sir?
Overruled, the witness may answer.
I'm not exactly sure, but I believe there is about 8.
Okay. Directing your attention to the days following November 21 of 2021, were you contacted by the Waukesha Police Department for any reason?
Yes, I was.
For what reason?
They asked me to look at my external security camera footage, see if I saw anything unusual on it.
And that would be specific to the building at 222 Maple Avenue?
That's correct.
Overruled, the answer may stand.
I'm going
Yeah,
to
he's
show you
got
an
a funky
item that's
voice.
been marked
Yeah, he
as,
does.
well, let me ask you one other foundational question. Do your security cameras record the activity?
Yes, they are recorded on a digital video recording system.
And can be viewed later?
That's correct.
Okay.
It's actually kind of
So,
cool.
Yeah.
when the
You'd make it like
police
a good
came to
voice
you in the
actor
days
for a
following
character.
November 21 of 21,
like
did
kind
they
of
ask
robotic
you to
about it.
check a certain day and time on the video recording for the building at 222 Maple?
Objection, second to.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Yes, they asked me to look at Sunday. Well, this was Monday. When they contacted me, and they asked me to look at Sunday at approximately 4:30 p.m. in that range.
Okay. And did you do that, sir?
Yes, I did.
And did you view any video that you thought may be helpful to the police?
Yes.
Did you turn those recordings over to the police?
Yes, I did.
Had you changed or altered the content of the recording in any way?
Objection, leave.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
No, I have not edited it or changed it in any way.
Okay.
I might have been
Now I'm
that.
going to show you First, an item that's been marked as Exhibit 157. And for the record, Your Honor, I'm just laying the foundation with these videos with this witness. I do not intend to display them at this time.
Will there be more than one?
With this witness has 2,
And that would be exhibit 157 and,
158.
all right, thank you, go ahead.
So what do you think? She's got video she wants to play at closing?
Is there an image on the screen in front of you, sir?
Just wants them in?
Okay. Do you recognize what we're seeing there, sir?
Yes.
Could you please tell us what is shown on the front screen of Exhibit 157?
Probably not.
Overruled.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
This is the
Court
side
date.
of our Lindholm Administration Building at 222 Maple.
Okay. Do you need to see the, like 5 or 10 seconds played, or are you
I need to see
confident
what
that's
the video
we're
is,
looking at
because
here?
I'm wondering if maybe
Confident
that
that's
was
what we're looking at.
it was a
All right.
camera that oversaw the
Do you
parade route or
believe
something.
the video
Yeah.
contained in Exhibit 157 will be a true and accurate depiction of the events from this location on November 21 of 21?
Objections, speculative.
I think this
Want
is
them to see the
smart.
video first? Why don't you show them the video first?
Well, the video is 20 minutes long, Your Honor.
Oh, all right.
Or I'm sorry, 11 minutes long.
I'm guessing it's horrible.
But
It's
I think he's
compelling.
made the adequate foundation, Your Honor, that he's confident where this camera is and what it shows.
And they want to save
All
it
right,
for
with
closing.
that-
That's my guess.
The objections overruled and
So they're
I'll
going to
receive
introduce it without publishing.
exhibit 157.
Thank you.
Is that
Now I'm going to display for the witness only Exhibit 158. Do you recognize what is shown in Exhibit 158?
Yes.
Please describe it.
This
James
is,
leading.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
this is our rear parking lot at the Lindholm Administration Building.
At that same address?
222 Maple, yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
Is this a second camera?
Objection leading.
Correct.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Correct. This is a second camera.
And does this appear to be one of the video clips that you also provided to the Waukesha police upon their request?
Yes.
And for the record, again, Your Honor, this entire video is 11 minutes in duration. Based on the testimony of the witness, I do not intend to play any of it at this time, but I would move to admit 158.
Objection. It's not intended to play. What's the relevancy?
The objection is noted, it's overruled, and exhibit 158 is received.
Thank you. I don't have any other questions, sir.
All right,
Okay,
thank
so
you.
they're
Have
saving
any questions for
video
this witness?
probably for closings. They're not publishing it
brief.
now, so they can use it for impact.
Before today, sir, well, first of all, good morning.
Good morning.
Before today, had you seen these exhibits or videos, rather, 157 and 158?
I've seen this video when I collected it off our system.
And do you recall seeing the first one?
Yes, I do.
Do you recall when you saw those videos?
I saw those Monday morning when my detectives came and asked me to review video footage.
And do you recall the name of the detective that you reviewed the footage with?
I do not recall the name of the detective, no.
And after that, after initially viewing these videos, did you follow up with law enforcement after that?
Yes, I did.
I'm dying to know if he's going to ask him to play him.
About the
God, honestly,
I think it would.
Correct.
I don't know. I don't know what they're moving these exhibits into evidence. I want to see them. The judge has got to allow it if he
And
does
had
that.
you
judge would
obtained
have
any
to allow it.
knowledge
And honestly, that's not a bad idea because it's
outside of what was
I mean, it'll
shown
be
in the
brutal.
videos?
It'll make him hate him more. But
If they pull it out at closing,
I'm not
it's
sure I understand the
brutal.
question.
Had you obtained any knowledge to why you
It would
were
be a good
asked
idea to get it out
to
now.
provide those videos at that time?
No, I was just
yeah, I
asked.
mean, you want to pull
my
the sting
videos
out of
and
it. It
see if
doesn't
I saw
matter. He's
anything
going down.
unusual,
But
No, I know, but
unusual
it's a matter of
it's still good
strategy.
strategy.
If I was representing him, it's what I'd do. I'd say, I don't know. I don't know what let's see it.
Yeah.
I would say, before it's admitted, I want to see what it is, Judge. We can do it right now.
Well, he didn't object to the admission, but
And do you recall being informed that
I
There was a
guarantee he didn't
possibility-
review the whole thing, so he can't even
possibility
argue completeness or anything like
you'll be
that.
testifying in this matter?
No, I did not know that.
Were you subpoenaed at any time?
Yes, I was.
And do you recall about how long ago you received that subpoena?
Several weeks ago.
So pretty recent, would be fair to say.
Yes, I would. Well, several weeks ago. I'm not sure if that's your definition of recent or not, but
Good answer, buddy.
Do you recall who served you the subpoena?
Objection relevant.
Grounds.
Overrule, the witness may answer.
The grounds was relevant
District
to
Attorney's
the
office from Waukesha.
They said it.
Do you recall if it was a specific district attorney?
I do not recall.
Of course.
When does he cite the Articles of Confederation?
Do you recall if you were
Oh,
contacted by the plaintiff in this matter?
apparently made
Grounds.
where the vehicle was found and recovered.
Sustain this to the form of the question.
There is no point.
No.
He also doesn't
Do
get
you
that he's
recall
cross-examining the witness, and
a
he can
conversation with
testify
the plaintiff?
through the witness, but he is
Grounds.
way too deep for his little brain.
Legally inaccurate statement.
Grounds.
Sustain this to the form of the question.
That's the thing is, I have
Do you recall having a phone conversation with the
narrative.
plaintiff?
Same objection.
I have no idea where he's going. He has
Sustain
no
this to
idea
the
where he's
form of the
going.
question.
So the entire thing is a pointless endeavor.
Yeah.
Do you yourself recall
Look at the sky. Let's see if
do
a
you
good idea will
yourself
come from the sky.
recall reaching out to the plaintiff in this matter?
I'm not sure who the plaintiff is. Can you define that for me?
Take a
The
look.
plaintiff would be who's
It's a book.
bringing the claim.
The evidence rainbow.
I object. Well, I realize there's no question at this point, but if he's going to ask the witness to answer his prior
Wait,
question, now
wait,
that he's
wait.
clarified, this is irrelevant questioning.
Let's see what his question is first.
We heard the question.
I asked it.
That's actually a fair point.
Let's ask the question again, so that I'm clear.
Mm-hmm.
Have you yourself ever reached out to the plaintiff in this matter?
And my objection is it's vague. And it's
Unintelligible.
legally inaccurate.
Sustain this to the form of the question.
Mm-hmm. Well, it contains effectively a false premise that he's trying to get. That's
Do
the
you
whole
even know
idea
if
of the
there's a
question.
plaintiff in this matter?
Objection
Grounds.
argumentative.
Sustain.
Right, the false premise
form
of the
question.
corporeal plaintiff issue.
Mhm.
Somebody send a super chat and Michael send him a copy of Hooked on Phonics.
Have you yourself filed any complaint in this matter?
Objection
Grounds.
irrelevant.
Did I miss a super chat?
Overruled, the witness may answer.
No, I was
And he may answer,
just
sorry.
suggesting that if somebody
I
wanted
have
to pay for a copy of Hooked on Phonics for him, it might make things go smoother.
Oh. That would be a waste.
Do you know of anyone who filed a claim in this matter?
I think he's
Relevant.
past learning English.
The witness may answer.
I do not.
But not a Black's Law Dictionary. Oh, God, no.
I love that the judge put on the record yesterday that she provided him a copy of the rules of evidence at the beginning of his self-representation, and he still has I don't think he's ever read it.
Yeah.
And do you recall when you submitted the videos to law enforcement?
I submitted them on Monday afternoon.
Only if you send us an ink
Do you recall
signature
the method you submitted it?
consideration.
The detectives
Oh,
came
good-
to my office.
good stuff this
and,
morning.
They viewed the video on my
We're all
system
starting
directly,
early.
and then they asked me to put it on a
Thank you,
flash
Mike.
drive. So I downloaded it on a flash
It's a
drive,
great way to start a day.
exported it to a flash drive, and then they put it.
Because I imagine that Law and Crime's not going to be streaming the field trip, so we'll have a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
No further questions?
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor, I'd ask Mr. Schloman be excused.
All right, thank you, sir. You may step down.
He says grounds in place of what attorneys would say, what's the basis for, but he doesn't have any purpose other than to delay because he doesn't know what else to say.
Yeah, so basically, but the issue is that the state, when they object, are giving their grounds in the objection. You're not really supposed to be speaking objections. You're not supposed to explain why the objection is what it is. You just cite the objection. And that is the grounds. So when they say objection relevant, that is the grounds.
Right.
Right. Good morning, Mr. Stone. If you would please make your way to the witness stand, which is up by me to my right, up one riser. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand. My clerk, Teresa, who's on my left, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so much God?
I do.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat. State your first and last names for the record and spell each.
First name is Robert, Robert. Last name Stone, Stone. 2 capital I's on this.
Wow.
And because I'm the second.
Very good. Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
They went to central casting
Morning,
for this
Stone.
cheesehead.
Good morning.
I was going to say, is
Sir,
he
on the
showing
date
someone
of
that's-
November 21, 2021, where did you live?
I reside at 424 Dunbar Avenue in Waukesha.
Do you have any security
should come on
cameras
the
at
stand.
your home, sir?
I do.
And do
God, that would
the
never fly
security
in any of
cameras
those.
have a way to record or save events that are captured on the camera?
They do.
Objection leading.
Overruled foundational, the witness may answer. And just so you know, sir, if there is an objection, wait to answer the question until I rule on the objection. Thank you.
Oh, I know judges that would.
To your knowledge, sure, was your security camera system operational on November 21 of 2021?
Objection
Yes.
speculative.
Overruled, the witness may answer, and he did his answer.
Was there a time where you turned over video from that security system to Waukesha Police sometime around November 21 of 2021?
Objection leading.
Overruled, the
Thank
witness
you.
may answer.
Did you inherit like half of Nick's
What kind
chat?
of security camera do you have, sir?
Objection leading.
Overruled, you may answer, sir.
It's just a generic NVR system.
Okay. And police came to your house? Is that right?
They did.
Okay.
Yeah, but the problem
What
is
did you give
couldn't
them?
read it.
They came to my house and my mother-in-law had answered and they
You should be.
asked about the security cameras and she told them that it was her son-in-law's. And then I retrieved the footage and turned it into the police department.
Before you turned it into the officers, did you alter the content of the video in any way, sir?
Objection
Absolutely not.
speculative.
Overruled, please wait, sir. Overruled, the witness may answer.
Objection
Absolutely not.
speculative, not
I'm
speculative.
going to have Exhibit 155 displayed on the screen in front of you, sir. And this clip is 40 seconds long, so I'm going to play it for the witness only in full at regular speed.
Go ahead.
Oh, they are setting up a hell of a close if they play clips
Yep.
from this.
That's not
Again,
regular
ultimately, it
speed.
doesn't matter, but oh god, that's going to be a
Just
hell of a
wait.
close.
For cross. We'll have the state question the witness about that, though.
And Brooks doesn't realize what sort of like an electric fence he's walking into here.
Mm. Is the display on his thing too?
He's watching
If
it.
you could start it at the 0, again, just put up.
So,
Sir,
think
did
it's
you see
not
that
public
40-second
security. I think
clip that was
it's-
just
that he can
displayed?
see it.
I did.
Do you believe that's a true and accurate
Jim,
capture of the events
this is a serious
at your
trial.
residence on November 21 of 21?
Objection speculative.
Overruled, you may answer.
It is.
I noticed in the upper right-hand corner of the video, there appears to be a date and time stamp. Do you see that?
Yes.
Objection relevancy.
Do you
Well,
believe,
hold on. Overruled, the witness may answer.
Yes.
do you believe that date and time stamp was accurate?
It is, but it's off by the daylight savings time.
Okay,
So
so it
That's an
reads,
important
what
thing
does it
to get
read
in. That was good.
it's currently reading 4:59.
for the time of day,
Correct.
AM or PM?
PM.
Okay. What do you recall the real day and time to be?
Objection leading.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
No, that's a really
Within an
important
hour.
thing to get in there.
Okay. And do you recognize the scene that's shown here, sir?
Yes.
What are we seeing here?
My garage and my vehicles and my backyard.
All right. Move to admit 155, Your Honor.
Objection relevancy.
Overruled, the objection is noted, but Exhibit 155 is received. And I'm
No.
sorry, did you ask to publish?
No,
Okay, thank
no
you.
further questions at this time, Your Honor.
All right, very well. Sir, if you have any questions for this witness,
Yes.
go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Stone. Before today, had you viewed that footage before today?
Yes.
And do you recall seeing anything unusual?
What does that mean?
Not sure I understand the question.
Do you recall seeing anything unusual
Vague.
Yeah,
You mean in
the same
footage
question.
or-
in the footage?
Go ahead and answer with that understanding.
I guess not. No.
So if you don't recall seeing anything unusual in the footage, what would be the purpose to turn it into law enforcement?
Objection.
Grounds.
Argumentative and a misstatement, Your
Grounds.
Honor.
He just gave it to you, you idiot.
Right.
This phrase, I believe it calls for speculation on the part of the witness, as well as the other reasons indicated by the state. So I'll sustain it as to the form of the question.
Why did you turn the video footage into law enforcement?
Probably because they
I was
requested
asked to
it.
go through my camera footage.
Even though you hadn't saw anything unusual?
Sure. Correct.
I'm desperately wondering what was on that footage.
And you stated that the time was off because of daylight savings time,
Correct.
and so it would have been an hour earlier than what was being shown.
I believe so. Yes. Correct.
That's actually not a terrible line of questioning if you wanted to go to authenticity of the timestamp. He just doesn't know how to finish that.
No.
Can you state where that particular camera is positioned
Wow.
on your residence?
That's where his former attorney
On the
was
back of
before he fired him.
My home facing.
Yeah,
the
fair
wall.
enough.
In all seriousness, I made a cheesehead crack, but this community looks fantastic in this trial. I mean,
They've
just
been doing
random people who
brilliantly.
are thrust into this, the police, everybody involved, reasonable, nice,
I was
good
gonna say,
people.
Do
They
you
have
recall what
fantastic
law enforcement
lawyers.
agency
They-
you turned that
People who
footage
don't
in?
testify regularly show up on the
It
stand.
was the
They
Waukesha Police
brilliantly.
Department.
Mhm.
Do you recall what officer you spoke with when you turned in the video footage?
I do not.
That sucks. It couldn't have happened to a nicer community.
You stated that you saw the footage before today.
I've not been there, but I believe it after this trial.
Yeah, they've definitely spoken
Any
well.
idea exactly what we were looking at?
Recorded footage of my backyard.
Oh, that's a T-shirt idea.
Pretty standard to any other footage from any other day?
I guess I don't understand that question.
Is it pretty much the same thing you would see any day if you viewed that footage?
It's recorded footage of my backyard.
Is it pretty much the same footage you would have saw if you viewed it
Right,
every
you
day?
can ask it 7 times.
Right.
Sure.
I don't know what's on there.
I don't know
mean,
what's on there.
Does it catch you running people over in the background? Then probably no. That's not occurrence. But they might be using it to establish a timeline or something else that I'm not familiar
Right.
with. It might be just you walking by.
Maybe it catches him on the sidewalk behind his backyard running by.
Maybe it shows nothing. It's just a baseline, like right before the incident. Who knows? I don't know because I haven't seen it.
Right.
And do you recall if you were subpoenaed to testify in this matter?
I have a feeling it might be that his backyard
Yes.
has a sidewalk
Yeah, I received a
and
letter.
they have him on it,
Yep.
which would not be
Do
unusual
you recall by whom?
to see somebody walking down the sidewalk.
Waukesha County was on the envelope. I don't remember.
Or
the
getting out of a
names on it.
car,
Yeah.
Do you recall how long ago that
holding a
was?
sandwich.
I do not.
Who knows?
And the sandwich in the back pocket.
Did you yourself at any time file a claim in this matter?
Oh dear God. Here we go.
No.
Do you know
Oh, sweet
That's
Jesus.
the
Here we go.
of anyone who has filed a claim in this matter?
No.
I got to get a fez.
Have you ever talked to the plaintiff in this matter? Grounds.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
Have you yourself ever reached out to the plaintiff in this matter?
I am the plaintiff. I am the state of
Sustained as to the form
Wisconsin.
of the
I've
question.
taken it on. Well, I've been there a few
You ever
times
had
in my
any
life. Close
personal
enough, right?
interaction with the plaintiff in this matter? Grounds.
Vague, argumentative, irrelevant.
Sustained.
Sustained for those reasons stated by
Sustained
Yes.
as to the form of the question.
What other reasons would they be?
Are you sure if there's a plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Argumentative,
She's going to sustain that.
Sustained for those reasons.
Oh God. It is too early. It's only 11 o'clock.
It's rough.
It's only
I saw,
11.
I saw pictures from our stream yesterday on what was on Twitter, and it was cracking me up. I'm like, we do not look happy.
Were you at any
Oh,
time
you gotta send
informed
me
that
some
there's
of
a
those
plaintiff in this
things.
matter?
Objection,
Grounds.
irrelevant.
Sustained.
For the reasons stated by
Sustained.
for the reasons stated by.
Yeah, the state's doing a
Also
nice
as to the
job.
form of the question.
You lose, and the state was nailing it. Right, you got it.
Would I like to relive the cross of the detective?
Have you at any
No.
time seen anywhere or read anywhere that there's a plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, Your
Grounds.
Honor, irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Grounds.
Also as to the form of the question.
Does he think that that's in any way an effective?
Redirect.
No,
way
Your
to
Honor, it
do
is.
this?
Mr. Stone, be excused.
Thank you, sir. You may step down. And yes, he's excused.
Thank you.
You may call your next witness.
State calls Andrew Emerson.
I'll just say real quick, everyone keeps saying 906.11. That is a statute in Wisconsin, which designates the scope
Andrew
of cross-examination.
Emerson.
Basically, you're not allowed to ask questions about things that were not elicited by the direct. That's the bottom line for anyone who's wondering why people are throwing that out.
Good morning, Mr. Emerson. If you would please make your way to my witness stand, which is to my right. Up one side here, when you get there, please remain standing.
I think we're all getting there.
And my clerk Teresa will swear you in.
But I have adult things to do the rest of the day.
solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall
So-
be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you
I
God.
can't cave in yet.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat. The first thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record, and then.
That is a crazy widow's peak.
Andrew Emerson, capital Andrew, capital Amerson.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Emerson.
Morning.
Sir, on November 21 of 2021, where did you live?
435 Dunbar?
Is that here in the city of Waukesha?
Yes.
I think this might be the
And
last
is
witness.
that your
for the
home?
morning.
Yes.
Overruled is foundational. The witness may answer. If there is an objection, sir, I will need to rule on it first before you answer, so just wait until I do that. Thank you.
Okay.
Do you have any security cameras at your home, sir?
Yes, I do.
And did you back then in November of 21?
Objection leading.
Overruled, the witness may answer. It's foundational.
Yes.
You're 100% right. This is just
To your
time.
knowledge, were they in
And they're
working
gonna
order
keep all
on
together
November
during
21 of
closing.
21?
Objection speculation.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Yes.
Does your security camera have recording capability?
Objection leading.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Yes.
And can the recordings be viewed at a later time?
Yes.
At some point close to November 21 of 2021, maybe a day or two later, were you contacted by the Waukesha Police Department?
Objection leading.
Overruled.
I'm kind of shocked how many people have security cameras that record like that in this
Okay.
community.
Why were the officers at your house, sir?
My cameras are evident from the street, so they were curious if they were in working order and if they could look at them.
Did you agree to that?
Absolutely.
And did they specifically obtain recordings related to the date of November 21 of 21?
Objection leading.
Overruled, the witness may answer. It's foundational.
Yes.
Did you ultimately provide a copy of those recordings to the officers?
Yes, on Wednesday.
How did you do that, sir?
I gave them the operating system after acquainting them with the monitor and how it all worked.
Okay.
And they were
Good. It's because it
focused on a certain area.
play into his stupid
And I
fantasy.
showed them how to get a good view on that and welcome them to have it if they needed it.
Did they take it?
Yes.
Before you turned it over to them, sir, did you change the content of the recording in any way?
Objection
No.
leading.
Sorry.
Oh.
And speculative.
Overruled as to both objections. The witness may answer.
Nothing was changed.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to look at the screen next to you. I'm going to put up Exhibit 156. This is a 9-second clip. Can you see that, sir?
I can.
All right, I'm going to play that clip for you at regular speed in its entirety.
Sorry, how many seconds is it?
9 seconds, Your Honor.
Can we make sure it's playing at regular speed?
Joni, a leading question is when you imply the answer. So you saw this, didn't you? They're not asking that. If it's an open-ended, if you can answer yes or no, it's generally not a leading
Did you
question.
see that clip, sir?
Yes, I did.
Is that a portion of the recording that you turned over to the Waukesha Police Department?
Yeah, that's the camera that faces west.
Do you believe that exhibit, what we just showed you, that
You're the
video
best
is a true and accurate representation of the events that evening near your home?
Yes.
And if you look on
No,
the screen,
Bigby,
shows
I'm
the date
blonde.
and timestamp for
Just
the
lighting in
video.
my room.
Yes.
Objection, Lee.
What was the date and timestamp that the video was recorded, please?
November 21, 2021 at 4:46:41 p.m.
Thank you, sir. I move for admission of 156, Your Honor.
Objection, relevancy.
Oh, God.
The exhibit 156 is received.
No further questions.
Thank you. You may be questioned by.
Oh boy, this ought to be brilliant.
Yes, I do.
Wherein I read my old attorney's questions and then look to the sky for guidance.
Would it be fair to say that you saw the video footage before today?
I saw it on the day of and the days following.
And what, if at anything, do you see on the video?
I see a man crossing the street, coming down from the properties across the street.
And
Oh, there we
you
go.
said a
We got
man.
Okay, so they're placing them at the scene in various locations around the crime.
Would you
Yeah.
say it's fair to say that from the
I think
video,
what they're
this
doing
is
is they're trying to piece together from
a pretty
the
good
car
distance
to where he was ultimately picked
from
up,
where your camera was positioned?
his path of flight.
That video image is a good distance. It's about 50 yards.
And you can tell from the video that you just watched today, you can tell the gender of the individual that you saw crossing the street, as you say.
Well, when I saw it originally, I had zoom. Okay, the feature of the camera zooms, so your image was real clear.
So the image was real clear when you
Yeah.
had zoom. Any
Yeah, and it was
reason why
you.
This particular image doesn't have that feature.
They can do
Objection.
whatever they want.
Ground.
Objection.
Hold on, there's an objection.
Sorry.
Let me rule on it.
Beyond the scope of the witness's knowledge, Your Honor.
I'll overrule if you know the answer.
I don't know what decisions they made in choosing the display.
It's a good answer.
And was that all
Exactly.
you saw in the video, or did you see anything else unusual, or something that may have caught your eye, or?
That's the only thing that I was focused on.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
And do you recall what agency you was contacted by about the video footage?
The detectives that came to my home on Monday identified themselves and then told me that
We're starting
other
early.
detectives might show up on Wednesday, and other detectives did show up on Wednesday. I didn't write down their names.
Do you recall what agency they were from?
Police department.
Do you recall if they were Waukesha Police Department or some other jurisdiction?
I'm pretty sure they were Waukesha, but I didn't ask.
Did those detectives ever follow up with you after those initial dates from that Monday, I think you said, and the Wednesday?
No,
Never
he's
saw them
another
again
sharp
after
witness.
Wednesday.
Did you yourself follow up with law enforcement after those two visits?
No.
Can I find anything on this piece of paper that I think is still relevant because I dropped the ball on the actual chain of argument? Let us see.
And do you recall when you were subpoenaed to testify in this matter?
Late July, early August.
Do you recall by whom?
Waukesha County District Attorney's Office.
Here we go. We're getting to the
Do you
plaintiff.
recall whose name is on that subpoena?
I would have to take a look
very
at
exciting.
it to recall it.
And once you received
Have
the
you met
subpoena,
Mr. Wisconsin?
call the Waukesha District Attorney's Office to gather any information about the subpoena?
On a few days, getting close to October 3rd, I made a phone call to ask if I was going to be somebody that they needed on October 3rd because I hadn't heard anything from them.
Do you recall who you spoke with at that time?
I believe the person that gave me the information that was helpful to me was Carrie Peterson.
Yep. That covers the whole situation right there.
Pretty much.
It'd be fair to say at that time you were notified that you possibly were needed to testify.
It was an unknown still at that point. Later, I received a text saying that I was on call as a witness.
Did you receive that text the same day that you called the district attorney's office or sometime after?
It might have been the same day. It might have been the next day.
Did you yourself at any time file any claims in relation to this
Okay,
matter?
here we go. Now we're done. This
Do you
last
know of
three
anyone who
questions, I'll
filed
be
any claims
to, and
in
we're done.
relation to this matter?
That's a privacy issue.
You may answer the question.
I know that my grandchildren received counseling, and I think that a Waukesha Community Fund might have helped cover some of that.
This sounds like the nicest
Do you recall
community.
the name of the fund?
This sounds like the nicest community on earth. Oh my god. This is making Waukesha look like a beautiful place.
It really is.
They put together community funds to help with counseling for the kids and stuff. Like, geez, that's awesome.
And to your knowledge, the fund that you speak of was strictly geared towards counseling.
I'm not privy to what it was geared toward.
Unfortunately, I think he fell into Brooks's kind of BS trap a little bit by being honest, which is not a bad thing on him, but Brooks is going to try and maybe use something. I'm hoping he
So
says
would
no.
it be fair to say that there was a financial interest attached to this incident?
Oh God, here we go. He's talking to the nicest dude that's being
I have
honest.
a mental health interest.
He's talking to the nicest dude that's being totally honest to him, and he's going to try and twist this with his pea brain mind. Oh God. That's messed up. What are you talking about? The community came together and raised some money to try and
And
get
how's everybody doing now? Are they
You're
okay?
garbage. You're murderous. Behavior.
Sustained,
For relevance?
yes.
Wait, did he actually say relevance? Did I miss that?
Have at any time you yourself had any personal interactions with the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained is to the form of the question.
Do you know if there's a plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Relevant.
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain, Your Honor.
Not relevant.
Yeah, Jack Ripper. The keyword there is acting.
Do you recall if the plaintiff in this matter reached out to you in any way?
Objection.
Grounds.
Irrelevant, asked and answered.
Grounds.
Sustained for those reasons. Also as to the form of the question.
Just for the record, it wasn't asked and answered. Just for the record.
Yeah, welcome to Law Talk with John.
Next question, please.
Happy that you're all here. Chelsea, it may have,
Do yourself
but
know if there even is a plaintiff in this matter?
Objection,
it
argumentative.
is.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
I think they just, you know what, instead of life in prison, let's say just lock him in a room with the families and see what happens.
No further questions.
Thank you, sir. Any redirect?
No, I'd ask that Mr. Emerson be excused, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You may step down. And you are excused.
This is how I maintain my sanity, people.
Leonard Miller.
Better than alcohol. At least at 11:15 in the morning.
Thank you, John. I'm sorry.
Mr. Miller, if you would
I
please
had a
make
little
your way to the
emergency.
witness stand,
Law Talk
which
with John is always fun. The
Can
chat seems to like
you
it.
please remain standing?
At least you
Raise your
didn't turn
right
it into a
hand.
club like Kurt does.
Teresa, who's on my left, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and then spell each.
Leonard Miller, Leonard, Miller, Miller.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Mr. Miller, on November 21 of 2021, where did you reside?
Overruled the witness.
Somebody at the prosecutor's table keeps forgetting to mute
126
their mic.
Central Avenue,
That's here in the city of Waukesha?
Waukesha, yes.
Okay.
I like this.
Do you have any home security?
It's like a C
systems
plus,
that
you know?
You know, it's fine. That's a passing grade.
Yes, I have
He's
two
passable.
doorbell cameras and
All right.
flood
Hey, I appreciate the backhand compliment.
Are you able to record the events that are captured on the security camera?
Yes,
And can those recordings be shared with others?
yes.
At some point, shortly after November 21 of 2021, you were contacted by the Waukesha Police Department.
It was actually that evening.
Okay. Tell us about it, please.
Well, actually,
You're right, Michael. She's much
everything
better on
transpired. I just got done setting up my Christmas lights, and I was in the house, and my wife came down from taking a shower, and I said, let's go look at the lights. We stepped outside. Well, we started to step out the front door. There was actually a SWAT team in our front yard.
Okay.
So I said, we're not going to look at the lights now. So then after a little bit, I started looking through my cameras, and I noticed
Oh God, that
somebody
is
running
actually
up my
really
driveway
exciting.
on the one camera.
But they're just
So-
getting into the
Nice
Christmas
person.
season again
It did
now.
not.
Okay.
That's got to be rough.
Hold on, there's been an objection. It's overruled. answer may stand. If there are further objections, please wait until I rule on them before you
Sorry.
answer. That's okay. Thank you.
Okay, so you saw somebody on the recording that you did not recognize.
Correct.
What,
It's foundational. I'll allow it, but please move on.
what
Go
did you,
ahead.
what did you do when you saw that, sir?
Same thing. I
I,
tried to subpoena the state of
called the Waukesha
Wisconsin.
Police
It was
Department.
denied.
And a short while later, a couple officers came over and walked through my property into the garage and made sure nobody was there. Then about an hour or so
Anyone who
later,
likes the co-hosting, you can come check out my channel, J. Robine Law at YouTube.
Send them the copy of the video.
Did you
Take a
do
look. We have some good stuff there. We had a great
prior
thing
to
last
doing
night.
that, did you alter the content of the video in any fashion, sir?
No,
Overruled. The witness may answer. Go ahead.
I did not. I have no way of, I wouldn't know how to.
Okay. How did you send it to the police officers?
Via email?
Okay. I'm going to put up on your screen next to you, Exhibit 159, please. This is a 20-second clip, and I'm going to play it for you at regular speed, and then I'll ask you a question, okay?
Sure.
Said 159.
Exhibit 159 is what I wrote down. And yes. Go ahead.
Did I miss a whole plaintiff go round?
It was the same, BS,
Yeah.
the same questions, same objections.
The plaintiff soliloquy, as he likes to call it.
We did not go with soliloquy. Yeah, I don't know when you dipped out, but the guy brought up the Waukesha fund, and he tried to go down that path.
Oh.
Mr. Miller, is that the recording you provided to the Waukesha?
Which I think is a fantastic idea of like a community test style.
Do you believe this is a
way
true
to
and
respond
accurate
to a
depiction of the
tragedy? I thought
events
that's-
at
it's
your
awesome.
home on November 21 of 2021?
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes.
In the upper right-hand corner of the recording, I noticed there's a date and time stamp. Do you see that?
Yes.
Objection, leading.
Do you
Thank
believe
you.
that was
Hold on.
accurate
Overruled.
reflected? I'm sorry.
The witness's answer may stand. Go ahead. Next question.
Do you believe the date and time stamp on the recording are accurate, sir?
Yes.
If you could
No.
read, please, the date and time stamp on Exhibit 159.
November 21st, 2021, 04/48/16 p.m.
Move to admit Exhibit 159, Your Honor.
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled. Exhibit 159 is received.
I can't wear that sweater. It'll cover my chest.
Thank you. Any cross, sir?
Yes, please.
Come on, guys, he's got a brand.
I got a brand.
Russell brand.
Good morning.
Before today, it would be fair to assume that you saw that footage before today.
Yes.
I take no hints. Ever.
Neither does Brooks.
I roll.
You stated a little bit earlier that when stepping out to view the Christmas lights, you noticed a SWAT team in your yard.
Correct.
What do you mean by SWAT team?
Fully armed, rifles in hand, helmets on, officers in my front yard. And on the street of my front yard, I should clarify that, in the street of my front yard.
Did you notice any vehicle that they may have been in at that time?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that question, please?
Did you notice at the time that you observed the SWAT team in your yard, did you notice any vehicle that they may have been in at that time?
I did observe a squad car down the street. Whether it was theirs or not, I cannot say for sure.
So, Mike, I don't think it comes up on StreamYards, but Amber gifted 10 memberships. If you want to give a shout out.
Oh, thank you. And somebody
Do you
gifted
recall,
50 yesterday. And I don't
which
have their name
agency
now.
you turned the video
Thank
footage
you.
over to?
Oh, I got to find it.
Yeah, it was Waukesha Police Department.
But I
Do
got
you
that note late
remember,
last night.
The name of the officer that you turned the video footage over to?
I am sorry, I do not.
Let me find my phone. I can do that.
Yeah. The problem is that gifting memberships doesn't show
Do
up
you
on
recall
StreamYards,
filing
so
a
it's
report at
a
that
little
time?
tough to track.
No report was made.
Thank you, Amber.
So it'd be fair to say the extent of your interaction with law enforcement was strictly about the video footage.
Correct.
Does he look?
Do you recall if law enforcement followed up with you about the footage?
I don't believe so.
Did you yourself follow up with law enforcement about the video footage?
I did not.
Thank you, Sheila Red. It was Sheila Red who did that. That was very sweet. And it was not a brat, of course, who brought it to my attention. Thank you very much.
And do you recall when you were subpoenaed to testify in this matter?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first part of your question.
I'm sorry. I have a bit of a cold, so I'm
Sure.
He's reading a script and trying to
Call
see
me
if he can dig into anything.
to
His
testify in this matter.
philosophies are kind of
Can't remember the exact
Whatever.
date, but it was a few weeks ago.
Yeah, he's asked the same questions for all of them.
And when you
John
received
Lighton.
the
You have to
subpoena,
actually. There is
you
an
follow up
option
with
that you
the
have to go into in
district
YouTube
attorney's
to
office,
accept
assuming
gifts
that's
memberships.
who served.
I don't know exactly how to do that off the top of my head,
did.
but you have to do that.
Do you recall whom you spoke
Otherwise,
with?
it's just random.
I do not recall the name. Sorry.
I did not know that.
I think
Thank
it's
you.
just random. I
Dark
don't
Nook.
think it has to do with commenting. I think you have to actually. There's a setting in YouTube where you have to actually click like accept memberships.
Did you yourself file any claims in relation to this matter?
I have not.
Do you know of anyone who filed a claim in relation to this matter?
Thank you, red, black, white stripes. I
Personally,
appreciate
no.
that.
To the best of your recollection, do you recall being contacted by the plaintiff in this matter?
Other than regards to the summons, no.
And you made reference to the summons.
Or subpoena, rather.
What was the plaintiff's name on the subpoena?
I believe
Thank
so.
you, Sebs. Thank you,
Do you
Amber.
recall what their name was?
State of Wisconsin.
I literally didn't know any of this stuff.
I mean, if you add R's to each of those words, that's also kind of true.
Have you ever had any interactions with the state of Wisconsin? Grounds. Grounds.
I like the original one, Michael.
For those reasons, Your Honor, or being that you identified the state of Wisconsin as the plaintiff, have they ever reached out to you in any way? Grounds. Have you ever had any personal interaction with the state of Wisconsin? Grounds. Grounds. For those reasons stated by.
Those reasons stated by the objector.
Would you yourself classify the plaintiff that you identified, state of Wisconsin? Would you classify them as a living human being?
Objection.
Grounds.
Vague, irrelevant, argumentative.
Sustained for those reasons.
That's a
Would it be
good
fair
point.
to say that
These crosses
cannot be a
over and
human
over
being?
again are pissing off the jurors.
Mhm.
You're wasting their time, and they know that.
It could be argued philosophically, I guess, yes,
And
but I don't know. No,
no,
personally, no, but philosophically, I suppose you could argue that the state is a person.
the state, one state.
No, don't feed the
It
beast.
could be argued.
He's such a nice guy, but he doesn't know what he's
And
walking
with
into.
determination. How did you come to that determination?
Oh God.
Your Honor, that's a misstatement of his testimony.
And
Sustained
that's where
is
it
one of the
leads.
questions. It's also not relevant.
Please shut it down.
Don't
Such a
don't
nice
engage
guy.
stupid. Like he's a nice guy and he's just trying to be nice. I get it. But you can't engage stupid.
Well, it's like I said before. It's like playing chess with a pigeon. They kick over the pieces, shit on the board, and fly home to say they won.
Yep.
Do you see the state of Wisconsin present in the courtroom today?
Objection, irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained. Not relevant.
What was the last part, Your Honor?
Not relevant.
Have you ever seen the state of Wisconsin at any time?
Objection.
Grounds.
Argumentative, irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained for those reasons.
What reasons I didn't hear?
For those reasons, it was also asked previously, and I sustained the objection.
That question wasn't asked previously, for the record.
Oh God. Whenever they take a break, I'm gonna need to get another pack of cigarettes.
So to the best of your knowledge, is the state of Wisconsin an injured party in this matter?
Your Honor, I object. and
Grounds.
ask you to direct the defendant to move on.
Grounds.
The
I
objection
think the
is
judge has
sustained
to do that, not
pursuant-
the DA.
The objection is sustained. Next question, please.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the reason for the sustain.
For the abstain.
Not relevant.
Your Honor, I object to it not being relevant. He clearly stated
Mr.
the
Brooks,
plaintiff.
please move on. I've made my ruling. Thank you.
I don't know how that's not relevant.
Okay, that'd be a no.
Perfect.
Remind the jury to
Perfect
disregard
Simpson moment.
comments made by the parties. They are not evidence.
Plaintiff.
What is that? Is that Stream Deck that you use for that?
No
That's-
further questions.
No, that's just StreamYard.
Redirect.
Have little
No,
clips.
Mr. Miller, be excused, please.
I gotta figure out how to
Sir,
do
you may
that.
step
That's
down
cool.
and you are excused.
Thank you. How can an entity be a plaintiff?
I don't know, John. We got like an hour and a half. If you need to go get her done.
Take a short
No.
morning break for about 15 minutes. I'll
Oh, there's
rise
a
for the
break right
jury,
there.
please.
I
There's a
can
break
move for
right there.
15 minutes. I can make it through the morning. I think. Oh, God almighty. I have a few cigars. I actually, but I enjoy those as kind of a luxury. This is just to keep me from losing my freaking mind at this idiot.
That's your day to day.
All right, it's 10:32. Be back in 15 minutes. We are in recess. Thank you.
I enjoy a cigar on the porch in the evening. That's nice.
Wait a second here.
I'm going to use Miss Fowler's word. She now is in a throuple. And not only does she choose to be in a throuple, and she's shacked up in the bed with the throuple. Now, if anybody thinks this is okay, I am in the wrong world.
It's a naked sandwich throuple. As always, here on Law Talk with Mike.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, thank you, Shanta. Thank you. All right, so we got 15 minutes.
Yeah, what do we do with that?
We got nothing. We got nothing. I'll just pause and put it back up there. Go get yourself squared away. We'll be back in 15 minutes. I won't close the stream because it's too short.
All right, that's fair.
We don't need to kill time. Everyone just hang out and we'll be back in.
Do we have any of the bond courts on that we could just flip to?
just go and.
I mean, why not? If you need the time, that's cool. But I mean, that would be a way to kill the 15 minutes so we don't lose folks.
Let's. That's not a bad idea. Let's see what we can find. I know what we can find. I know what we can do.
We got 2,400 people on, and I don't know if we'd lose them.
All right. We're gonna try this now. Let's see if. Oh wait! I gotta do this, and then I gotta do this.
All right, your chat's mad at me for suggesting they might abandon ship, but okay, that was not my intention. I was just trying to find a way to continue to entertain you all. No, I'm here till the lunch break, and then if you have to do serious stuff, maybe I'll try to run it after that.
So, ma'am, what is the Bud Avenue address that you have on?
What could go wrong here?
That is where I was staying. We are no longer staying there. I have my mailing address is my uncle's house, but me and my children don't have an actual place to stay.
Oh, that's.
I can't get behind this PD's do. I really can't.
Here's what we'll do. I won't order that testing at this point, but
What is that hair? Yeah.
All right.
Oh my God! It took me a second to recognize.
Pardon? Okay, so in the interim, and I realize it's a difficult circumstance, but see what you can do. I think it's around $15. You would need $12 to do one test. Okay.
Let me go over here.
Let's see what you can do between now and then. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Now, ma'am, how would the public defender's office get in contact with you?
I have a government phone. I do have a phone number.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do.
Like that.
Have a
let me
government
give you a
phone?
phone number to call. Okay. You got something to write with?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's area code 734.
Okay.
222.
Okay.
6970.
Okay, thank you.
All right, call
Maybe
there.
the return
And you
is
don't have an email
nesting
currently,
birds'
correct? You just have a phone.
I have an email as well.
Okay,
Where's my
so when
Toshio
you call
Feaster?
there,
Who do we have in here?
give them
Oh, we
your
got
name
Gallagher. We got James
and
Gallagher.
give them
All's good. Don't
an
worry.
email address, your email address, as well as a phone number, so they can get in touch with you regarding this case.
Does
Okay?
Gallagher look a little bit like Bronca to you?
You're welcome, Miss Smith. All right, we'll see you in a couple weeks. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. He logged off. Mr. McDaniel, can you hear us? Timothy McDaniel. If you unmute, we may be able to hear you, because now you can hear me. I see. I'm not hearing you.
Can you hear Nelson McDaniel?
It's an attorney. I mean, doesn't he do this all day?
Really?
You know, Mike.
Okay.
Be
Well,
careful with that.
Sooner or later, Mr. Timothy
You're
McDaniel, you're gonna
the
get
chat
that
riled
fixed.
up about you.
I'll keep it passed and then we'll see. Court does call
I'm not going anywhere, Your Honor. I'll be here.
quit threatening me. Court calls court calls case people versus Rachel Ames.
Caitlin Kirby on behalf of the people.
Okay. Miss Ames, you're before the court for purposes of an arraignment. And you're before the court on a misdemeanor complaint that alleges that on or about June 27, 2022, at the location of 5490 West Michigan Avenue in Pittsfield Township, state of Michigan, that you did commit the offense of malicious destruction of personal property.
Oh, thank you.
Less than $200. And that was personal property belonging to Wayad Karan. And it involves soda cans. You understand what you're charged with? I'm not asking you whether or not you did it.
I don't understand what
You
she's
understand
charged
what
with.
you're charged with.
Did she throw a soda can at somebody?
And when the can, Your Honor, I'm Lisa Ames. I'm her legal guardian. I'm her mother.
Okay.
She don't understand what you're asking her, so I'm gonna tell her what it means.
Okay.
Oh,
I just
good
need to
Lord,
make
what
sure
is
she
going on?
understands what she's charged with. Okay, go
I
ahead.
have many questions, none of which are family friendly.
That's what it means. You hit the can. Tell her, yes, Your Honor. Yes, sir.
Okay.
No,
I need you to understand that that's a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail, a $500 fine plus court costs. If the cans are worth, if 3 times the value of the cans is worth $500, then the fine would be whatever that value is. Okay, you understand that, ma'am?
Okay, this is sad.
Okay. First question I have for you is, do you wish to be represented by an attorney?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, this is a public defender case, and if you can see on the screen, Mr. Gallagher will be your attorney. Go ahead, Mr. Gallagher.
James Gallagher, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Ms. Ames. For purposes of the arraignment, waive formal reading of the complaint and my client stands mute.
All right, defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute. Court will enter a not guilty plea at this time on the defendant's behalf. Pre-trial in this matter will be adjourned to November 2nd, 2022 at 9 a.m. or as your Zoom invite indicates. Okay, did you get that, Mom?
November the 2nd at 9 a.m.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
Is that on Zoom?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Gallagher will have this worked out in 30
So the bond is
seconds.
setting him on a $5,000 personal recognizance bond, so you don't have to pay any money. I'm going to issue standard conditions, no assaultive behavior of any type. Okay. No use of any alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drug. You understand that?
Your
Okay. I don't know if you are in the area of Mr. Karana or not, Mr. Karana, but I'm going to order that you not have any contact with
I think he's
Wayad
going
Karan.
to get this
You
dismissed,
understand that?
basic restitution, whatever the
Yes, Your Honor.
were, and just be done with it.
I have complete confidence Judge Simpson and Gallagher will come to a good resolution very quickly here.
I'm going to give you a phone number.
We can all see what's going on.
Okay. And that's area code 734.
734. Okay.
222.
Oh.
And the prosecution doesn't want to pursue
6970. You knew
No.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
We got it.
Everyone's too
Your Honor.
reasonable for this.
Okay, so you need to call there. If you got an email, you need to give that to them. And you need to give them a phone number, a good phone number that you can be reached at. So Mr. Gallagher can talk to you before the 2nd. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Thank you. We'll see
Have
you.
a good day.
You too. Court calls case of the people versus Eric Arden.
Yeah, this will be settled this afternoon.
Caitlin Kirby on behalf of the people.
Eric Arden. He must have had a set aside over a previous warrant, and now he's not here again.
That's not good.
Feds warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear, bond 5,000, 10%. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls the case of the people versus Charles Griggs.
Caitlin Kirby on behalf of the people.
Yes. Mr. Griggs, can you unmute and tell me your name?
My name is Charles Griggs.
All right.
Does he sound like he's gonna cry?
You all right, Mr. Griggs?
This is a weird call.
Just, I'm homeless and I finally found a home here in Massachusetts. And I didn't do anything wrong, and I'm not, and I can't, and I don't want to lose my home again.
Okay, Mr. Griggs. Okay, I hear you. Okay, and just okay. So what
What have we walked into here, John?
God almighty.
I'm going to arraign you on these charges. Okay.
This was your terrible
I'm not
idea.
saying that you did it, but
You
I
know
have
what?
to let you know what you're charged.
Maybe I was
with,
wrong.
Maximum penalties.
That happens every now and
Okay.
then.
And then we're going to, much like the other arraignment, we're going to talk about an attorney.
But it's kind of nice to see
And
the
then
soft
they'll
side
take it from
of
there,
every now and
and
again.
whatever issues are facing you,
Definitely a soft side call.
like potentially losing your home or something along those lines, you can talk with them about that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, what's he charged with?
You are before the court on a misdemeanor complaint that charges you with assault and or assault and battery. And it is
Well, there you have
alleged to have occurred on May 25th, 2022 at the location of 2376 Carpenter Road. Do you understand what you're charged with? And it involved a Bobby Lagore. You understand what you're charged with, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now that is a misdemeanor and it's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a $500 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we thought
All right.
we'd bring you down even more from
First
the
question
trial.
I'll ask you is, do you wish to be represented by an attorney?
Hey, it's a roller coaster of emotions from insanity
All right,
to anger
public
to
defender case.
depression.
James Gallagher, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Mr. Griggs. For purposes of the arraignment, waive formal reading, and my client stands mute.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute. I'll enter not guilty plea.
We're going through the full
Retrial
state
in this matter
case
will
here.
be adjourned to November 2nd, 2022 at 9 a.m.
I think those might be
Stand
crocodile tears, though.
Yes.
back. All right. Gonna
I
set
have
your
my
bond at a
suspicions about that as
$5,000
well.
personal recognizance bond. I'll order standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior. There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal
Is
drug.
court back? Somebody's
Okay,
saying.
you understand that, sir?
Let me check before.
I'm gonna also order that there's to be no contact with Bobby Lagore, okay?
I don't know what it was. They were harassing me.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I just told them to leave me alone.
Okay, okay, all right. Mr. Griggs,
Oh, good Lord.
I'm just,
Oh no,
understand
this is
something.
crocodile tears.
I'm just ordering that you not have contact with that person, but my understanding is you're.
Why
in a
would you
different
lose
state,
your home in
right?
Massachusetts because of a bail condition in
In
Wisconsin?
Boston, Massachusetts,
I-
working a steady job for about 3 months.
I said something
and
similar,
I love
and
the
people are
I
still
work
cranking
with,
on me about it.
And I've been, I feel like home, even though I
Oh
don't
God,
have a
this is an act.
home.
I'm sorry.
and people are trying to
I'm
help me find an
convinced at this
apartment, and
Okay, all right, Mr. Gregg. Mr. Gregg, stay with me.
I'm
here,
getting more
okay?
skeptical by the second, honestly.
Okay, it in one way or another, it's all gonna work out, all right?
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna make that an order because that would be a standard condition.
Okay.
All right. Now, Mr. Legore,
Okay, you said
do
it,
have
not
a
me.
phone number
I
that
thought
you can be
it,
reached
but you
out
said
there?
it, Angela.
My phone number is
Oh,
681.
I don't want you saying it. I don't want you saying it. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do, Mr. Griggs. So that you
Gallagher
can give
doesn't
the
want
information
to
to the
think.
public
He did, he
defender's
would ask to
office.
have him
I
excused.
normally would have people call, but let's do this instead.
Or at least have him taken off the video. That would be the
Your
appropriate.
PD intern, Mr.
Right,
Schmidt,
am I
isn't
right?
doing anything, so he's not going to do something. Mr. Griggs?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to put you into a breakout room virtually with somebody from the public defender's office.
Okay.
And they're gonna get contact information from
exactly.
you
At
so that
least
they have
ask
it.
for a
They can
breakout
contact you about this case.
let him
Okay.
fill out
Okay.
if it was real.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Griggs. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you for your patience and time.
Not a problem, sir. All right. So we're gonna put you in with Mr. Schmidt, and he'll talk to you and get your information. Okay.
Oh, that was rough.
All right, we're gonna go back. Then we're gonna have a little bathroom break, and I will come back on. Let's do this. Let me do this. Let me do this.
Yeah, I have it running on mute in the background. But yeah, let's
Okay.
Take a break.
That was most of it. They should be starting up in the next 5 minutes or so. As soon as I hear rumblings from the court, we're coming back on.
All right, sounds like a deal.
All right, cool. Yes, you have to at least try.
Morning break appearances are as they were before. State have another witness to call this morning?
Yes.
All right, then let's have the jury.
And we're back. Welcome to Law Talk with John. Pleasure to see y'all.
Well, there we go. We had that nice depressing interlude.
Your
I mean,
objection to
Simpsons
that
Court's
is noted
usually
and
fun
declining to
too.
revisit that issue.
Yeah, I thought it was a good idea.
Termination.
Well, you didn't know which court. That was my best guess.
Yeah.
I guessed wrong.
Oh well. At least now we can enjoy the laughs when it comes to this lunatic.
Yeah, I'm like, what I did a video was like, no, there's no crying in court or something. I said, when guys cry, I'm skeptical. Oh God, did I just get absolutely hammered in the comments for it?
I don't know. That last guy, I genuinely had some questions because it seemed a little, Oscar performance worthy.
Yeah.
Apparently, Law Talk with John is some people's favorite spin-off series.
Well, actually.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Statement calls next witness, please.
Thank you. The state calls Specialist Kyle Becker.
Good morning, sir. If you would please make your way to the witness stand. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand. My clerk, Teresa, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and then spell each.
Kyle Becker, KYLE-BECKER.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Sir, how are you employed?
City of Waukesha Police Department.
What's your job type?
Warrant specialist.
And Directing your attention to the date of November 23, 2021. Would run to be that date.
Yes, I was.
What duties were you tasked with on that date?
Me and several other officers, detectives were tasked with being part of the search team canvassing the area for items.
Okay, and this is related to the investigation into the Christmas parade?
Objection, leader.
Okay.
I don't know if you already covered it, but Rob dropped 20 memberships for you.
Overrulings are foundational.
That's really cool.
questions, So I'll allow it. For the witness though, please make sure you wait until I rule on objections before you answer. Thank you. Next question.
So you said the purpose of the team was to look for items, did you say?
Objection, leader.
Overruled.
Yes, items that we believe Mr. Darrell Brooks was wearing the night of the incident. We discarded them.
Okay.
Um,
And
60.
did you
Apparently, I don't
come up
know.
with a plan or a method to proceed?
Yes, we did. So we knew that he fled from the vehicle.
Yeah, Rob is
and
making it rain.
Maple Avenue in the city of Waukesha. So we directed our team around that area, and we were going to start on the 300 block of Maple. We were going to work westbound.
That's cool.
Backyards.
Thank you,
we
Rob.
Like Northwest Avenue, trying to look.
I sent him an invite,
items
too.
That might have been discarded by Darrell Brooks.
And what day was this that you set out to do this?
November 23rd, 2021.
Was there an objection or not?
Yes.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
It was November 23rd, 2021.
What time of day were you performing this search?
It's approximately about 10:15 in the morning.
Did you personally recover any items of interest in this case, sir?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, the first item that we located was a blue sandal, or they also call it a slide, that was located at 322 Maple Avenue in the backyard. 322 butts up to 434 Dunbar, and in the backyards there is a chain link fence that separates the 2 yards. The first sandal that we located was our right-footed sandal, and it was on the maple side, 322 maple side of the fence, close by the chain link fence.
All right, I'm gonna put up two items, photographs. First one would be Exhibit 94.
Go ahead.
Is that on your screen, sir?
Yes, it is.
Do you do you recognize what is depicted in Exhibit 94?
Objection, leader.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes, I do.
Tell the jury what you see in 94.
It is the blue sandal that was outside the chain link fence area, like I described. It is a navy blue in color, and it also had a.
God, Mike, at this rate, your entire chat's going to be green.
Logo on the front of the sandal, which appeared to be like torn or worn.
Do you believe Exhibit 94 is a true and accurate depiction of the area where the sandal was found
Yes, I do.
and the exact location where the sandal was found?
Objection, leader.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes, I do.
Permission to publish 94, Your Honor? Well, wait, before we do that, I'm going to have you identify 95 as well, and then we'll put them up.
Go ahead with the next exhibit.
Is 95 now on your screen, sir?
Yes, it is.
What is shown in 95?
The navy blue sandal that I just described.
Similar, or how is 95 different from 94?
Objection, leader.
Overruled. You may answer.
They were the same exact sandal, just different pictures.
That's what I mean. What's the difference between the photographs?
Objection, leader.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Just the angle of where the picture was taken.
Okay. Do you believe that 95 is the accurate representation of where and how the sandal was found?
Yes, I do.
Move to admit 94 and 95 and permission to publish, Your Honor.
Objection. Relevancy.
The objection is noted. Overruled. Exhibits 94 and 95 are received. Permission to publish granted. And then for my ladies and gentlemen in the jury, let me know when it shows up on the screens in the jury box, as there is a delay at times. All right, we're good. Go ahead.
Sir, if you could just orient us in the picture there. You had described in your testimony a chain link fence, correct?
Correct.
Does that separate two properties?
Objection leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Yes, it does separate two properties.
And what are those properties, please?
Objection relevancy.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
The where the sandal is located right now, that is on the address of 322 Maple Avenue, and the opposite side of the fence, which would be to the south of that, would be 434 Dunbar.
Okay. So even though the properties above the street addresses are on different streets,
Yes, that is correct.
and 322 Maple, can you approximate for us the distance that is to the location where the red SUV was
So
found?
it's the idea that he lost his sandals when he tried to hop the
Overruled. The
fence.
witness may answer. Actually, let me do this. I'm going to sustain it as to foundation. I think another question needs to be asked of this witness regarding the red SUV.
I don't know. It seems like it was lunchtime from the morning discussion.
Yeah, I think they're going to do it
I
over
think
lunch.
You testified earlier that you set out to.
So it might be
search
like
the
a
area
2-hour
around
lunch.
3:38.
And they'll do half an hour doing the walk over.
What was the
Maybe
significance
2.5
of that?
hour lunch break.
That was where the vehicle was located that Darrell Brooks was driving the night of their Christmas parade.
And could you please approximate for us the distance between the residence where the vehicle was found and the residence where this sandal was found?
Objection relevancy.
Overruled. The witness.
I think
may
we're getting
answer.
there.
I think
This is
maybe one
approximately,
more
yes,
after
I
this,
guess,
but
around
they've been
20
running
minutes.
through them pretty quickly this morning.
The device in front of you is a touch screen. Can you please circle the sandal in the photograph?
The problem was the hour wasted prior to getting to it.
Yeah, well,
All right, thank you.
that's true.
And then if we could please display 95?
Before you do that,
I'm sorry.
any capture of this being requested before?
No, because I think 95 will do that for us, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, next exhibit.
All right, now 95 is up, sir.
Same thing, circle.
Sure.
Objection leading.
All right, so he lost his shoes trying to jump over a fence.
Overruled. The witness may answer. by
Cool.
Circling.
We got the timeline down.
Now, I'd like
Yep.
to show you a piece of physical evidence that's been marked as State's Exhibit 86. If I could get the assistance of the deputy, please. Could you please present that to the witness for me?
Oh God, this closing is going to be amazing if they clip this all
86?
together in a
I was going to ask the same thing
timeline.
because I missed that too. Can I have the number again?
Yes, 86, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Exhibit 86.
That is such a clean method of prosecution,
So
and
have
that's
you
not
seen,
always easy.
Exhibit 86 before.
Yes.
Oh,
What
yeah.
is 86?
86 is the sandal that I located outside of
Yeah.
322 Maple Avenue.
You're
Inconceivable.
just seeing in the photographs 94 and 95?
Yes.
You were a prosecutor. I mean, could you
Mr.
imagine
Bennett,
having that
86,
much
Your Honor?
evidence to piece
Objection
together
relevancy.
the flight of a suspect's
Overruled. Exhibit
timeline?
86 is received.
That's the biggest problem. They've got the goods.
Yeah,
Officer Becker,
But
did you
you
find
wanna
any
present
other
them in a
items
reasonable way.
of significance to this
I think they're doing it so cleanly,
Yeah.
Overruled.
and they're going to
Witness
piece
may
it all together at the close anyway. But
What
they
else?
have it all
Doing
admitted.
an excellent job.
I found another loose sandal, which was a left-footed blue slide sandal with the same Milwaukee Brewers logo album on it that was worn out. And then I also located a gray hooded sweatshirt that had a multicolored design or logo on the front of the sweatshirt. That sweatshirt was the same sweatshirt that we believe Mr. Brooks was wearing during the incident at the Waukesha parade.
Where did you find these items?
These items were located to that chain link fence that was up before earlier. It was on the opposite side south of that chain link fence, which would have been the address of 434 Dunbar Avenue. I was directed towards that area because due to the fact that I thought Mr. Brooks tried jumping the fence, and that's how he lost the first sandal. So I was directed towards that area due to the fact in that vicinity there. So I was searching in the backyard of that area, and I located a children's playhouse. This children's playhouse was made of wood, and it had about 4 or 5 steps up till you got to the platform of the children's playhouse. There also was a slide connected.
Thank you so much.
That would lead down to the grass. I located in that platform area. I located the gray hooded sweatshirt.
I would, but I'm broke. So
the same sweatshirt that we believe Mr. Brooks was wearing during that
Good on you,
incident.
folks.
And then in the close proximity to that sweatshirt was the other sandal, which was the left-footed sandal, which was a blue slide with the Milwaukee Brewers logo album that was somewhat worn. Matched the description of the one that we also found by 322.
Yeah, Kestrel.
All right,
The
sir,
art
I'm
of a
gonna
lawyer
put
is
that
feast and
display
famine.
on your monitor, Exhibit 96.
Go ahead.
Do you see Exhibit 96?
Not yet.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, do you recognize what is portrayed in Exhibit 96?
Yes.
What is that?
Objection leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
That is the children's playhouse where I found the gray hooded sweatshirt and the left-footed blue sandal.
All right. Do you believe the photograph is a true and accurate depiction of the yard and item that you described for us when you saw it that afternoon?
Objection speculative.
Overruled.
This might be an interesting cross.
Yes, it was.
All right, we're going to go on to 97. What do we see in 97, sir?
Because they are publishing and it is very
That
fact
is the
specific.
gray hooded sweatshirt with the multicolor design or logo that I located.
In the playhouse.
Correct, in the playhouse.
Okay. Do you believe this is a true and accurate depiction as you observed the events on November 23 of 21?
Objection speculative.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Yes, it is.
All right, and then 98, please. Please describe.
You got the best chat in the business, Mike.
I do. I don't know how I got it,
Obviously,
but I'll
the
take it.
Gray hooded sweatshirt that I just talked about, and then also the other left-footed blue sandal with the Milwaukee Brewers logo.
Thank you, Kathy.
Is this the position of these items as you found them, sir?
Yes, it was.
And do you believe this photograph is true and accurate as it's presented here today?
Objection leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Yes.
Move to admit 96, 97,
thank you.
and 98, and permission to publish, Your Honor.
Exhibits 96, 97, and 98 are all received, and permission to publish is granted as to each. And if the jury would please let me know when the monitors and the jury box also display what's on the large screen.
God, they got some high-tech courthouses. I had to put stuff on a freaking projector.
Right. Thank you. Go ahead.
All right, Officer Becker, could you please circle for the jury the children's playhouse that you've been describing for us in 96?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm not.
Well, no, I don't, but thank you very much.
Yeah, you do. False modesty is obnoxious.
Okay. And where's the, this is a close-up of that same playhouse?
Yes.
Yep.
Do you see the sweatshirt in this image, sir?
Objection leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes, it is.
Please circle it.
That's a great idea for a sandwich shop.
Yeah. The naughty sandwich.
No, I'm not.
You gotta be prepared for that one.
And then we'll move on to 98, please.
Oh, God.
And those are the two items together in the.
I'll say, aren't you glad that I forced you to keep doing this?
Yes.
Now I'm going to show you these physical items. Please, Deputy, if you would assist me again. Number 84.
I really do. You guys are the best.
I love you all too.
Do you recognize item number 84, sir?
Yes.
What is that?
Objection leading.
Overruled, I'm sorry, what was the number again?
84.
What's this guy holding?
Go ahead, you may answer, sir.
I think.
The gray hooded sweatshirt that I.
It's a gray hooded sweatshirt.
Yeah.
All right. And 85. Thank you.
Those, I think, are the flip flops.
Please identify.
This is the other sandal, which was a left-footed blue sandal slide with the Milwaukee Brewer logo. That was also located in the children's playhouse.
Your Honor, permission to admit, or excuse me, move to admit.
Thank you so much,
84 and
Rob.
85.
Hop on. I sent you an invite.
Overruled. Exhibits 84 and 85 are both received.
And I'd like to ask, with the court's permission, if 84 can be published by
Really
the
cool.
officer standing up and holding up 84 for the jury to view.
Objection relevancy.
Permission granted.
So please hold up the sweatshirt.
Thank you,
sir.
Secret
Objection
McSquirrel.
Yes. The record to reflect the officer stood up in the jury box. He is holding the exhibit between his waist and forehead. That's the full length of a sweatshirt, and he has passed it from right to left of his body in front of the jury.
Thank you. And then if you would do the same thing, please, sir, you could set that one down, and if you could hold up 84 and 85, one in each hand, and display those for the jury, if that's okay, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, 85 and 86.
Objection.
Your objection's noted. Go ahead. The witness is standing up still in the witness box. He is holding each one of those exhibits, which I believe is 85 and 86, one in each hand at shoulder height, and he turned a bit from right to left in front of the jury. Thank you, sir. You may sit, or you may sit down.
Specialist Becker, did you check with the homeowner to make sure that the property you just displayed did not belong to the homeowner?
Objection speculative.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
I personally did not. Somebody else may have.
And how about the sandal in the by the cyclone fence on the ground?
Let's talk with Mike Cafe.
Officers check the homeowner at that residence as well.
Mondays, naked sandwich. Tuesdays, Thruple Tuesdays.
No, I think it would be Trouble Thursdays. That
What
obviously.
could go wrong?
Thank you, sir. I don't have any other questions.
All right. Any cross for this witness?
Yes, just 1 second.
I could lose my law license and my liquor license all in the same day. It'd be fantastic.
Witness, or can they be taken?
You have a liquor license?
No.
My clerk, since they're now.
Okay, so it's hard
But
to
I'd have
lose
to
them.
get one.
All right. The bailiff would.
Don't do it in New York. It costs like $500,000.
And then when you're ready.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, Yesenia is going to start to get cranky with me too. Thank you, Rob, for all that.
Yeah, I tried to help a friend out with liquor license. He was starting a restaurant, and it's a nightmare.
Well, you testified earlier in questioning.
Come on, man, read your notes. You can do it.
Rather, let me back up. You said the name of the alleged suspect when questioned about.
I mean, all this really happened on the channel. It really did.
The alleged suspect.
People are making it up.
At that time, did you know?
We didn't
the
say
name of
these
the
things.
alleged suspect?
I'm just saying, if you want to go in on a restaurant, contemplate the idea.
From detectives working the case.
So you yourself didn't know until you.
No, they're not actually $500,000, but it's maybe a quarter
That was
right
part
now.
Of part of the brief,
Yeah.
so I knew too.
So you knew before you were briefed?
Yes.
So you knew before you were briefed, then why did you have to be briefed about that information?
just the gatherings, we briefed every morning, and the gatherings from the day before, what we were all going to do and stuff like that, and what every detective's working something different. So that's we just kind of gathered as a group like we do every morning and discuss what we all were gathered, or what we all saw. And
were you a part of the investigation?
Sweet. That is sweet.
The night of the incident?
Yes, I was.
And what was your detail?
Oh, he's standing for this witness. That's interesting.
What was your role in the investigation the night of the incident?
Well, I was activated for our SWAT team. I'm part of our Waukesha Police Department SWAT team. So we were activated at that time. So I was assisting in that matter at the time being, about the parade incident, due to the fact of all the injuries and victims and unknown suspects at the time. We got activated for our SWAT team.
New York State Liquor Authority is an absolute nightmare to navigate.
At the time of the incident, we didn't know exactly.
Well, that's because nobody drinks in Wisconsin.
Time. So this was all really fresh information.
At least not liquor.
At night, so we got activated right away.
So is it possible that you didn't?
I mean, he wasn't drunk.
Information of the alleged.
He said so.
Defendant until that evening.
I do not recall when exactly we found out who our main suspect was.
And in reference to the sweatshirt that you observed in the children's playpen, do you have any information of how that got there?
Not exactly, no, because I didn't follow the footsteps of Darrell Brooks at night.
Great answer. Once again, fantastic witness.
And see this how that you were actively investigating that portion of the investigation. Why did you not ask the homeowners if
I had to play the thruple clip for her for just that reason.
I did not ask them. I located it, and then it was turned over to more of the detectives that were handling the case.
The question was why didn't you ask the homeowners?
I don't know. I just didn't.
So it'd be fair to say you didn't know who the items belonged to at that point.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Jeff Hartz, I agree entirely.
You made reference to, and the word you used was belief.
Oh, that and so many
You
other
made
reasons.
reference to belief that the alleged suspect jumped the fence.
God, somebody's going to clip that.
I guess that would refer to where the slide, as you referred it to, was found. How did you come to the determination that a fence was jumped?
During my training experience, my main job role as a warrant specialist, I go out and track a lot of suspects down. And a lot of times those suspects also flee on me. We're at to get in a foot pursuit with them. There's been multiple times where suspects.
Castro, give me a few minutes. It's been quite a few.
try to get away from police. So that's why I came to that conclusion just during my training and experience.
Did
I mean,
you catch
seriously.
any suspects during your investigation?
Yeah, the suspects don't like to get caught.
No, I did
Not
He's
just you.
He's getting close to an actual argument. But we're past the point. The evidence has been admitted.
Right.
This should have happened weeks
That is fair
ago.
enough, but just during my training experience, that's what I believe may have happened.
So
And he
it'd be
seems
fair
very
to say you
credible.
weren't sure exactly.
I guess you could say I wasn't 100% sure.
This is actually not a bad line of questioning if he did it properly.
Testified earlier, and I don't want to misquote you. I think it was some question of determining the distance. I don't know if that was in reference to where the vehicle was found and where the items that you found were located. Was that the distance that was being referred to?
Yes, I believe so.
Thanks for that clarification. I didn't want to misquote you. How were you exactly able to determine the exact distance of that?
I wasn't able to. I think I may have stated it's a rough estimate or approximate.
So it'd be fair to say you don't know for sure the distance.
No, I do
No.
not know. Really
That's what he literally just
It'd be fair to say it was a rough estimate, like he just testified to 1 second ago.
Did you at any time see anyone? I guess I will refer to alleged suspects. Did you at any time see any alleged
list of suspects.
drop any items?
No, I didn't.
Did you see any alleged suspects remove any items?
No, I did not.
And you stated that your search investigation was the next morning.
No, because it's just going to piss off the appellate court.
November 23rd, 2021.
It's good to object to things to preserve records as a general rule, but if you do it on everything, everybody hates you,
That part of your investigation ended.
including the appellate court.
They don't want to read all of this
I would have
nonsense.
to, it'd be an approximate guess. I don't know how long we were out there exactly. It was that morning and then probably early afternoon, I'm guessing.
I mean, the interesting thing is that there is actually a halfway decent argument you could make about trying to get the flip-flops excluded through this witness. He's not doing it, but he's almost there.
Your part in the investigation.
Am I off base on this, Mike?
You completed the investigation part on the 23rd of November.
But the horse is out of the barn on so many other issues. It doesn't matter. I get
No,
what you're saying.
I know, but again, I'm trying to get into the nitty gritty and try and take something intellectual out of this before my brain explodes.
Where it was positioned in the investigation in full.
No, everything was turned over that day that I found the items to our forensics unit at the Waukesha Police Department, where they handled the custody of the evidence.
Were you ever after that?
It's getting there.
Followed up with by any law enforcement
Thank you, Mark.
after that initial date?
I don't really understand what you're saying.
After your part of the investigation was completed on that day, the 23rd of November, 2021, did any law enforcement officers follow up with you about your part of the investigation?
Not that I recall.
I think it's right before lunch.
They might just combine the two. That's what I would do if I were the judge. So you give them an hour for lunch and then you do an hour for the site inspection.
I think we're getting close to the state resting. A couple of days ago, she was saying they would rest today, and it seems to be going to schedule.
I think the site inspection might be their last item unless maybe they have one more witness, maybe two, but that's about it.
I got other stuff to do, but I can't.
I don't know what else they needed.
I can't not watch if he's going to give an opening statement for his
I know.
stupid case in chief. It'll be horrible.
Congratulations, Mike. Quit your job.
That's
what we do
criminal
now.
evidence and forensics unit of the Waukesha Police Department, specifically Specialist Schmidt.
I won't even attempt his case in chief without alcohol. I won't even try.
Someone might join you.
Do you know of any procedure once you turn over?
All right, everyone keeps talking about DNA.
I believe you said the.
Do you really need a DNA expert right now?
Can you say it again? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Criminal
evidence.
Yeah, criminal evidence, forensics
Criminal
unit.
evidence. Is there any procedure after that in reference to the items?
Then they might.
What may be done to the items?
Yeah, they're placing them into inventory at the Waukesha Police Department. So that's Specialist Schmidt's primary job role at the Waukesha Police Department.
So once you turn over the items, that's pretty much the end of your part of it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh yes, it's going to be absolutely
And various other stupid.
deliciously stupid.
I think it'll be soft sit and then arguing the alternative. Maybe it wasn't me. Maybe if it was me, I was lightheaded and it's an accident. I think it's going to be a combo because that's what he's been doing so far.
He's got three arguments that he's been putting together, and I'll wait until there's a pause.
Quite a while now. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Are items usually
To the extent of
for this
putting
length of
together,
time?
meaning a
When
child playing with
investigation?
Legos.
Yes. Typically, yes. Till the case is over.
So it isn't unusual in any way to see items kept roughly a year or so.
No, that's not unusual, especially if it's evidence to a crime.
And what usually happens to the items after the investigation is complete?
You would have to ask the criminal investigations division, the Specialist Schmidt that handles those types of cases. I don't know how they release those items.
So you're not sure, to your best of your knowledge, you're not sure.
No, I'm not.
Do you recall making a report in this matter?
Yes, I do.
And did you write it yourself or was it typed by
It'd be
someone?
great if somebody asked, when this case
I
is
believe
over,
that.
do you want your flip flops back? You might say yes. Sussex Sandra, no, not unless
Well,
he volunteers.
If he testifies,
I don't think he might. If he does,
I think he will.
You're probably right. I'm trying to still live in the world of reason, but that's gone out the window a long time ago. That went out the window about 6 cigarettes ago.
Yes.
Although Trevor Summers didn't testify, and that surprised us.
That was a very smart decision.
Yeah.
It didn't help him,
Reference to it being like a SWAT team.
he would have been
Oh,
No, I recall that you asked what I did the prior day of the parade incident. Now, just advise you that I was activated for our SWAT team that day of the parade incident, the actual day. The items that I
I'll be on
located
Friday.
on the canvas search
I'll
team
be
was
on Friday night
November
with
23rd.
Mike and Rob if they invite me. That's fine.
So, in reference to the SWAT team,
they have a good chemistry.
By SWAT team.
Our tactical unit at the Waukesha Police Department.
And what do you mean by
Rob, you're gonna need some alert for that one, buddy.
Exactly, is a canvas search team.
That is the group of individuals that we had in our criminal investigations divisions. As a detective specialist, there might have been some officers too.
All right, so I'll ask you
Yeah,
directly. Am I invited on Friday, Mike?
10 of us, and we searched.
What's that?
Am I invited on Friday?
Yeah.
Do you wear?
Do we think that'll happen Friday?
Law enforcement gear.
That's what people are saying.
Changing the gear.
Is that
yeah.
Friday
Yeah, regular-
night, whatever, Friday night fun
law
with
enforcement gear.
you and Rob?
That were day to day.
Friday Night Frenzy. That's Rob's deal.
All right. Well,
That's
get in
nothing.
touch
That's
with
nothing
them.
but trouble over there.
That's fine.
I mean, whenever I'm there,
To the best of your knowledge, did you yourself follow?
seems perfectly reasonable if I'm not there.
I'd be happy to join.
No opinion
I'm
on
fishing for an
filing
invitation, like somebody said.
We get you over there, no problem.
Have you at any time saw or read a complaint in this matter?
No.
And do you recall who you were subpoenaed by to testify in this matter?
Yes, state of Wisconsin.
And who do you refer to when you say state of Wisconsin?
District Attorney's Office, Waukesha County District Attorney's Office.
That's a genuine question. What happens when a pro se has to cross themselves? Do they just
Do not recall
forfeit
that.
the cross?
So, to the best of your knowledge,
Well, they don't cross themselves. They
just
cross
testify.
themselves. It would be a direct of themselves.
Right.
Yes.
They just testify generally.
And do you see the state of Wisconsin
Unless-
plaintiff in court today? Grounds.
His testimony is so bad, he might want to cross himself, but it's going to be very convoluted.
Right. So he just takes a stand, he says his piece, and then
In
he
a
gets
narrative
crossed,
form.
and then we're done.
Is the plaintiff?
Well, then
present
the
in
state
court
crosses
today,
him.
to your knowledge.
Well, no, right. So he just says his piece. Takes a stand, says his piece. State crosses him, and then rebuttal.
He would have a
be
chance
him-
to rehabilitate himself too,
Yeah.
but he doesn't know that, so that probably won't happen.
Oh, it'll be interesting.
Do you recall having any personal interactions with the plaintiff?
Oh, it'll be a flaming shit show. That's what it'll
I mean,
be.
it's the definition of a hostile witness.
Have you ever been contacted by the plaintiff in this matter?
And I mean that on both sides. I think he's hostile to himself.
If you were to see the plaintiff state of Wisconsin, will you be able to identify him?
Objection argumentative.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
God, him testify is such a bad idea.
I actually made out with the state of Wisconsin yesterday.
Say that again. Sorry.
Classify the plaintiff state of Wisconsin as a human being or entity?
Objection irrelevant.
He's making me lose my mind.
Like, I literally had to step out of the room about an hour and a half ago.
What wine do you pair with Brooks' testimony? I would say Everclear.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's actually palatable with a little bit of a margarita mix.
Would it be fair to say this isn't your first time during your career testifying in any type of criminal matter?
Yes.
Well, then it's
You don't have
perfect
to
for Mr.
rehabilitate
Brooks.
if you did. You don't have to rehabilitate if you didn't kill yourself.
Damn. I know I shouldn't have had White Claw before I did that.
Fair to assume that you understand plaintiffs and defendants, correct?
Objection irrelevant.
Sustained.
Guys, we're trying to watch a trial here.
Are you aware that only a living human
Oh,
being
God.
can bring a claim against a defendant?
Objection irrelevant argumentative.
Grounds.
Sustained for the reason and as to the form of the
Like,
question.
this is your Kyle Rittenhouse moment.
to the best of your knowledge, who can bring a claim against an alleged defendant?
Objection, irrelevant.
Sustained, not relevant.
No further questions.
Thank you, sir. Any redirect?
No redirect of this officer, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. You may step down.
Yes, there'll be statues of me
With another officer, but I don't think I'll complete.
up in the woods somewhere.
What I'd like to do at this point is advise the jury about what is to happen next. I'm advised that everything is ready to go.
That's the final witness, and now the
Ladies
field
and
trip.
gentlemen of the jury, you will now be taken to a garage attached.
Oh
to
God,
the
are they going to
Waukesha
is Lauren
courthouse
Prime going to broadcast
to view
this?
the vehicle recovered by the Waukesha Police Department. You will be taken to the garage by the jury bailiffs. During your trip to and from the garage, or while there, you are not to discuss this case with anyone. While at the garage, you are not to talk, and no one is to talk to you about the case except the judge. You are to remain with the other jurors. You are not to conduct an
Please,
independent
God, let Lauren
investigation
Prime have
now or at
cameras.
any time during the trial.
They won't.
The court
So
is
we might have a
taking
break.
the jury to the garage to provide the jury with an
Set
opportunity
up his soft sit
to
nonsense,
view the vehicle,
nonsense defense.
as it is not possible to bring the vehicle into the courtroom. Other than the vehicle,
trial.
anything you see there is not evidence in the case and should not be considered as evidence. At this time, please rise for the jury. And the jury bailiffs will wait until further instructed as to when.
Do we get to hop on the magic school bus?
I haven't heard MD 2020 in a long time. Have you ever even heard of MD 2020? This is before your time.
No, I have no idea what the hell that is.
It's literally Mad Dog
About
2020.
whether they could bring notebooks, and I instructed that they should not.
It's awful.
Well, so is 2020.
Where's Natalie Whisker? We should get her on here. There.
You're the one that has the connect.
Yeah, she's all right. I know. All right.
I think we at least have a couple hours before
Recess while
anything's going to be back.
the parties
I barely know her. She's really cool, but I barely know her. I've been on like one stream with her.
And given that it's 11:35, unless
But-
something.
She finds out I
unanticipated
knocked up
happens,
the
that I would
state of
need to put on the
Wisconsin
record
last
right away,
night. She
then
probably
we'll
won't do
also
it.
Be taking the lunch break
That's fair.
after the jury.
Wants to be associated with that.
I believe we'll be over there for. I don't think. Let me put it this way. I don't think the process is going to take more than a half hour. I think it will take much less than that. I think what might take more is just getting all of us there and situated. But let's say it takes us to noon. We'll take an hour for lunch. So I would expect the parties to be back here at 1. All right. Thank you, everyone.
All right, so that's 2:00 my time. So an hour and a half break.
2 o'clock here. So they're come back. We're come back at 1 o'clock.
She said an hour and a half, so 2:00 mine. So yeah, 1 years.
Yeah, it's about 1 o'clock. All right, I will reset it up. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you all for making me laugh through this. Oh, it started strong. It started strong.
Hey, likewise, in the meantime, can I do a shameless plug?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
That's about just enough time for you to watch Mike and I review Trial by Combat in the state of New York. So
And
yeah.
then we actually reenact a trial by combat.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
Okay, no, that's actually a complete lie.
Oh, if we could do that, if you ever come down to Tampa or vice versa, that would be fun. But no, it was a really cool.
It was fun.
It was a cool stream, and please check it out. I would appreciate it if you did that.
All right.
Otherwise, thank you, Mike, for having me on, and I will see you at the other end of this, on the other side of this.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys all in about an hour and a half. Thanks a lot. Peace out.
All right. Peace, folks.